As the music grows quieter, my yapping in the distance gets ever louder to the point where it deafens your ears. Hello, everybody. I am both equally excited and incredibly nervous to be showcasing all of my blorbos today. Well, not all of them, but like a good fucking chunk of them, like 95% of them will be showcased in this video today. Well, I don't know if I need to make it part 2, because I need to be up by like 5 a.m. tomorrow. At least. I need to be at work at 5:45, so like, there's a good chance that we might not make it through all of them, because there's like 50 of them, so be prepared. Anyways, just to catch up with chat real quick, because there's so many of you. We have Zeket, the goat, already waiting in chat. Okay. Hi, you. Vita as well, just pointing you out. Hello. Almost time for glorious yap. It is time. Some more, yeah. Oh, the yap of all time. The time is now. Truly, truly. It is right now. And yes, Vita again. Hello. Also, Tinty, I saw you on the Zeka stream earlier. I don't think we know each other just yet, but I'm very glad you're here. Hi. Evan, of course. Aiden the Human Miller. Hello, Aiden the Definitely Human. Hi. What's up, yappers? I mean gamers. I mean yappers. I mean everybody. Hi, gamers. And indeed. Also, hi, Helen the Yote, if you will. That's funny. Feckin' Blorbo once again. Y'all just making shit up by now. What do you mean, Neon One? This word is well established in the industry. Blorbo from shows read us being chanted in the distance. Blorbo, Blorbo, Blorbo. The yapper has arrived. I'm here. Hi. Great podcast intro energy. Thank you. Hello. Boo. Why shows only though? What? Ha? Well, it's not only shows, it's also books, actually. Be prepared, give us yap, and we will give, like, I mean, if that's what it takes. A helmet on in preparation, very good. Blorbo from books too. Yes, there you go. Also, hi, Azzy. One of the yaps of all time. Oh my god, hi! Hi, I felt very personally pointed at. Sorry. I will hold you gently next time. Wow, my full title. Yes! That doesn't often come up, does it? Anyways, we've made it through all of the messages. I also still have the group chat open, so I should close that because you're all here now. Except for my wife, but you know. Game Blorbo when I know it will be all Genshin in here in that case, but give him a chance. I mean, there are a few Genshin, but there's also Resident Evil. Don't be like expecting only Genshin characters. Of course there's a few, but like there's also, you know, 40 other characters that aren't from Genshin. Like, come on. Book Blorbo is my beloved. Yeah, there's like at least 5 or 6. Neil Jostin is one of them. Spoiler alert. Oh my god! Oh my god! It's aforementioned husbando. Hi! My IRL real life, you know, the ring isn't here right now because it doesn't exist. But that's my spouse right here. Wife gone. No more wife, but there's wife, actually. Spouse here! Did I miss anything? Beautiful fit and hair accessory. Thank you, I made it myself. Would you believe it? I made this entire thing myself out of fabric. I actually have 4 more that I'm gonna send over to my friends because these are hair ribbons. You can't really see it because my camera is set up to be way more contrasty than I'm used to. It is blue, I swear. Give me a moment. Nope, that's wrong direction. This way? Yes, kind of. Let's go 75. That's fine. Save it. It's blue. It's shiny, shiny blue. And it's because of Zoya. Zoya Nazielensky, who is also a book character. And she's got a blue ribbon that gets commented on by Nikolai Lantsov a lot, to the point of, like, where he literally proposes to her with, like, the only thing I want is for you to wear this thing at my wedding, or our wedding. It is a staple of Zoya Nazielensky in the book of Rule of Wolves and King of Scars. because this man is so besotted in this woman. It is absolutely crazy. This hair ribbon has driven him up the walls insane. And my friends all want to cosplay Zoya. Well, all of them. 2 of them want to cosplay her. One of them is my guy friend who wants to cosplay Nikolai Lantsov, and I'm giving him one for cosplay, like, stuff, so he can cosplay that and have like the ribbon, be like, I can tie the ribbon in his cosplay videos. And one of them just wants to match with us. So yeah, I made 5. Yes, that's a long explanation there. You have Blorbos in Resident Evil? Yes, 2. I did want to, I almost wore the Leon Kennedy shirt. But, you know, maximum comfy is this one, and it actually matches the hair accessory, so hee and he's not even on the list, so he hasn't made it. So cute. Thank you. I mean, you can't really see it, but it is very, like, Ariel coded. Ring will exist soon? Maybe. Ooh, I mean, I do have a gift for you that's not ring shaped when you get here on Monday, so but I won't tell you anything about that because you might have forgotten about it, and that's good. Did you know Juno makes incredible clothing items? I do, sometimes. I haven't made a lot of them in a long while, but this is one of the things that I finished this morning, actually, because I had to finish off one of the ends by hand because they're like long tubes, and they have like a little, like, they're pointy at the end, so I had to hand stitch that while I was watching the Sparkle trailer on repeat this morning. Yay. That's so sweet. Yeah. Burro, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. It is Ariel coded, you're right. I mean, I'm no longer, ginger, so it doesn't even really matter, but, like, it is cute nonetheless, so I will take it either way it goes. I should probably close that door, but it's not like anybody can hear me yap about murderers. Yep. I mean, not that all of them are murderers, just some of them are. Some of them have murdered. I have like an entire like little symbol for the eventuality of the simplest that might actually happen next February at this rate. So next February the 14th, I will probably have the simplest ready for you. Haha. So in a full year. It actually has like one of the little sub thingies that I have, like little icons, has has murdered. So that is a big enough pool of people that it needs its own subcategory. Oh my god, gift? I'm shaking my seat. Well, it is nothing, like, super special, but, I mean, I did talk about it at some point, so, like, don't make it out to be something really big. It's not. It's very small. It's very small. But there is gift. There is gift. Lamau, I should sort mine into how many I have killed, too. Probably a very, you know, 95% to 5% ratio. Shiva deserves to be someone's Glorbo. Wasn't the only one paying, I wasn't the only one playing Resident Evil 5 in 2008. No way. I mean, I am planning to play Resident Evil 5 probably with Rita because I'm very bad at those kinds of games, like, that are, like, mostly just action, but I'll be playing it on easy mode. But I know of her, and I think she's very cool of what I've seen so far, and she's with Chris, right? Like, as playable characters, she's with Chris, right? Some of them will/would murder again. Yay! Oh, a murder tier list? I mean, I haven't made one yet. We'll get into that in a second, but I gotta sort them into, like, what kind of war crimes they committed. Well, who cannot forgive a little murder from your Blorbos? Well, everything you give me is special to me. Well, it's not even handmade. It's something I bought. Like, literally, it's tiny. But yeah, it's Flora time. Hello, Joestar. Hi. Sorry, I didn't mean to point at you. I feel like that makes people uncomfortable. It's like, Joestar! Hold! But yes, I am, very excited to showcase the Blorbos, and without further ado, after 10 minutes of already yapping a lot, I would like to get you over to the screen where we're gonna do the things. It's gonna be a different stream, like, window thingy, because it needs to be, actually. So, et voila! It is a big gray screen where I can zoom into the thingy. This is the reaction screen. Welcome. Also, I feel like we should have some music. I didn't prepare that. I just came home like 20 minutes ago. But okay, I'm gonna... What is this music? Okay, that's actually fun. Some guitar solo in the background, so I don't go insane just yapping. Pointing at me like I committed a crime. No, you didn't commit a crime. Thank you for welcome. I never guessed how much murder my blow was committed until I listed them, though I feel like morally questionable can be a criteria for blorbo. Yes. Cute. It is. Was not expecting a whole gently tier. Well, I mean, there are some that are like children on there, which are neither simp nor kin nor would date. You know, like they're a tier for that. It is also huge. This canvas is about the size that Zeke has for his blorbos. But yeah, we can go through all of these tiers one by one just to like look at them a little bit. Precious and red tier, truly. So, to explain what these all are, this is would date if they were real, so like highest tier. We also have a different tier actually, this one, which we'll get to, which is specifically like kind of like this tier's like over complicated essentially. Like I just sort them all again, essentially, but like in different tiers. Big, yeah, it's 3,000 by 4,500, so all of them are evenly spaced, because I am a perfectionist like that. Protect the baby. Blorbo tier list with 1 billion pixels. Yes. So yeah, would date that if they were real, like, literally, like, the creme de la creme, essentially, people I could imagine myself, if I was less socially awkward, go towards and try and date, essentially. I mean, in an ideal situation where they were interested in me. Like, I would put them in the pool of people of, I would date them if they were real and if they had any interest in me, you know, because most of them also are in a ship that I have, and there's like a whole tier, and this one is like, I don't think they'd like me, which is gonna be populated with everybody. They're gonna have to be very small, because all of them are gonna go in there, all 50 of them. So, yeah. That's that tier. We have Hold Gently, which is essentially just, I have put Keith in my hands, literally for a schedule art one time. So, yeah, like, the main reason I made this in GIMP is so I can put people in multiple tiers. It's gonna be a theme, and I'm sorry, because that's just how I am, and you're gonna have to deal with that. But yeah. Holds gently, because I do hold a lot of them very gently. For example, Blue Sergeant, just out of the blue there. But moving on to Simp, which is very simple. It's just, I simp for them. And that is most likely why they are my blorbo, like 6 times out of 10, is because I simp for them in one way or another. But that doesn't exclude the next tier, which is kin. Technically, on one of the, I mean, arguably private lists that we did in a voice call, Evan, for example, had a thing that is like simp or kin as one tier, and I have, it's very polarized here, so it's simp and kin as different tiers. Tiny blorbos, so small. So, you know, simp is, I would admire them from a distance, but I wouldn't necessarily want to date them. Kin is, as you might have guessed, I relate to them on a high or relatively low level, depends on the character. I'll probably go into specific detail that you will resent me for at some point on each and every one of them and why I relate to them. So this will, you know, I should probably put in the title that there's gonna be spoilers. There's gonna be spoilers. Have I told you about that? Just listen away if it comes to fandom that you enjoy or want to get into. Now we get to these tiers. The last two. Yeah. Hot and vaguely problematic, but not enough where it's like... Because I have friends, and I'm not looking at anybody specific, but I have friends where these two are essentially the only tiers they have. No shade. Absolutely no shade. But for me, it's like really just vaguely problematic. Most of them haven't even committed a single war crime, okay? Like, it's... Listen, I am just... My like, Blorbo list is so vanilla, it's very, very funny. Like, this last tier of morbid fascination will be so empty. I promise you, it's gonna be so empty. There's gonna be, like, 3 people on there, because truly, it's just really morbid fascination. It's like, I really, really wasn't looking... I promise. The second tier. I'm looking at somebody specific. Okay, well... Listen. I think... I mean, do we want to go through the other one? Because this is just the Blorbo tier list. We can start with that. I just realized that I also only have Blorbos in those last 2 tiers. Love that this is a science. Yeah, I wish to be held gently. I would... should I become a Blorbo for someone? Aww. And we are the scholars, yes. Sometimes you do wonder. Some are def one or the other, though. Yeah, like, yeah, for sure. We could go into, like, the one that specifically goes into whether or not, we would make a healthy relationship in that sense. But we could also leave that for later. I don't know. That was kind of just on a whim, this one. Like, gotta make my little murders and have our own party. Yes. I mean, okay, like, it's relatively easy for these ones. It's just, I'd literally marry them. That's all of that. I mean, the question of this is, like, would we have a healthy relationship together? Blorbo tier list. Like, that's the question. So, yes, 100% healthy relationship. It would need work, but it could work. We'd just be friends, which is like true neutral, essentially. This one is gonna be the most populated one. I don't think they'd like me, because most of my Blorbos, would not like me. Not one bit. Me as a personality, they would not like. I promise you, they would not like me. And then we have no, which is like, from my perspective and from their perspective, it would not work out. Even in my dreams. Even if I really want it, no. I would not want it to begin with. But yeah, that's gonna be an empty one as well, because, you know. But yeah. Anyways, I have a lot of contents over here. You're not seeing this stuff, because it is well organized, but also, like, you don't need to see how many tiers there's gonna be. But yeah, we have a little, like, folder that is just named contents, and I have my little folder of Blorbos over here that I'm gonna just, I don't know where I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put this over here. I think that makes sense. Well, it doesn't really matter like that. Okay, cool. Alright, we have a big list. A big list. There's like 58 pictures on there, but that doesn't mean much, because I have, like, sometimes I have multiple pictures of the same character. I think I'm gonna, however, sort it into where do I sort this? There it is. Sort by date modified. Thank you. Yes, because the latest one is, well, date modified ascending. So, what? Ah, well, fair point. Okay. Because then we can get the aforementioned Genshin characters out of the way first, because those were first on the list as well. Alright. I'm not even involved in any of my thoughts about my Blorbos. Me as a person isn't even a thought in the Blorbo interaction context. Well, that is... You know, everybody experiences their Blorbos one way or another, and I just had the, you know, the schnapps idea of having the other one, because I just like to pinpoint how little of them would be, like, actually interested in me. But that is also incredibly self-centered. Anyways, it's fine. We're moving on. We're starting somewhere. Our different brains. Love it. Yes. Anyways, I'm gonna have to close my iPad so I don't just shove it off the desk. We're starting with Resident Evil characters. 2 of them, to be exact. And the first one we have here, which is just named Download, which I think is very cute, is Carlos Oliveira. hope and pray that I said that right. This man, this dude, this guy right here, him, ta-ta. Whoop. Oh no, don't tell me you had a mask on you. What the fuck are you? Add alpha channel. My goodness. What is this? There we go. Hee. There he is. Boy! Younger boas are a lot more heavy on the kin. It's fun to see how different they are from person to person. Yes, my fave BLORBO download. We love it. But yeah, this is Carlos Oliveira. He is from Resident Evil 3. He's one of the, I don't know, the cops, the agents, the people who are already in in Raccoon City, moving things about with, God, what is his name? The white-haired fucker. Nikolai. But not the other Nikolai that we're gonna get to later. Not that Nikolai. But that Nikolai is Russian, very explicitly so, and played by none other than Neil Newbin. Which is also why I'm, like, at least a little bit interested in Nikolai as a character, but he is not on this list, so we're not gonna talk about him. His hair is not real. His hair is real. He looks dark. A little bit. The picture is not, you know, the greatest, but it's the one I had on hand. We could get a different one if you so want, but, yeah. He looks dark, a little bit, because the picture is dark. Is he this him I've heard so much about in videos talking about fictional characters? Maybe, I don't know. How did I not predict this? Well, hi B, by the way. But yeah, he is incredibly charming. In his puppy dog nature, it is incredibly fucking adorable to see him interact with super cop Jill Valentine, which is technically also why for example, I mean, I have a different ship that is very similar and gonna come up very soon, actually, which I have classified like 1 or 2 ships as a BLORBO fusion. Like the ship itself is my BLORBO. It's my Roman Empire. Literally, like fucking Bellamy Blake and Clark Griffin and Casbecker and AHHAHHAHHAAHHAAHHAAHJHSJHJAHSKJHA. They are my Roman empires respectively because they have like similar dynamics, and so does like Jill Valentine and Carlos Oliveira. With the guy in 2 of them mostly being like very dog-coded, I suppose, like very like excited and stuff. Like, he is fun. But like, yeah, he is very much like, oh, I would never leave you in a cruel Carlos's world. He is very fun, and I really do love him a lot. A tiny bit naive at points where, you know, Jill is a lot less naive, but yeah, you know. The founding pillar of Resident Evil 3, really. Truly, truly, truly. Truly, truly, truly. I wonder if I can cut this a little bit smaller. So I can only, because this is like large. Copy. Delete. And we don't want that anymore. Okay, stop that. And we want to paste in place. No, that's not what I meant. Ah, well. This is fine. I know how to use GIMP. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yes. Can you? Thank you. My goodness. Was that so hard? Well, I mean, mostly he's like over here. He's definitely in the simp tier. That's for sure. I mean, he is problematic, but only in the fact that he's a cop, you know, it's... So is Jill, technically, but they're also kind of anti-government, so it's fine. Me with Photoshop every time I stream it. Real. I fall asleep. Nor, we've been going for like 26 minutes. Like, this is the first guy we've put on here. You're still on time. Is that like a fucking GIMP? It is GIMP. I don't have Photoshop. It's like, don't shame me. I'm here for copious amounts of yapping. Yeah. I mean, he is one of the older BLORBOs that has been reignited lately because I did play Resident Evil. So if you want to watch that, I have the full playthrough on the channel. So, yeah. Monster wasn't on my side. Fair point, fair point, fair point. He is down there on Simp, and I think he will stay there for a while. I don't know. Would I date him if he were real? Would I? That's the question now. Like, sorting them is truly, like, this is happening in real time. I have downloaded all of the pictures. I have prepared all of the stuffs, but I have not prepared where I'm gonna put them. A lot of them are, like, very easy. Very easy. But some of them are also not. I think I would just put him in Simp. No, actually, okay. Okay. You know what? Actually, if I do think about it a little bit longer, he deserves this place up there. Anyways, moving on. Jill Valentine. Undrinks monster. You do that, creepy. You do that. Jill Valentine, of course, is also on this list, because she is just awesome. I've liked her, technically, since, we have played. I mean, okay. Now I gotta tell you, I have not, before I played it, I haven't watched, or seen anything about Resident Evil 1 in that sense, and, I mean, there's not, like, she has a lot of character in Resident Evil 1. I don't want to be mean, but, like, there's not, like, a lot of basis in there, I think. Like, there's a lot less cutscenes. I see it. I mean, listen, I might also just know nothing, and this seems incredibly ignorant, but I liked her a lot more in Resident Evil 3. There's that. So, Resi 3 was fun. A lot of fun. If you ignore the entirety where I was very frustrated at the game for being so hard, but that was my own fault, so it doesn't matter. They're dating a cop! Helen, you know, if he wasn't a cop. If he wasn't a cop on Blorbo's Your Blorbo. No! Can't wait till you play the other RE games with Jill. Yeah, for sure. RE1 was the first and very gameplay focused, so that's fair. Yeah, like, I do like her a lot in, like, Resident Evil 3, when she actually gets stuff. Stuff like a personality, you know? She's very fun. Very hot. I'm sorry. Also a cop, unfortunately. Like a super cop, quite literally, as named by, you know, Carlos. But yeah. She's not as Blorbo as some others are, but she was Blorbo enough for quite a while, so I'll just put her right next to the man, the myth, Carlos, in the Carlosless world. Now that he's no longer here after countless times, and, you know, after Resi 3, he's no longer with us. Well, he is alive, he just is no longer with us. So yeah. Stop it, Waffles. You need to go in there and stay in there. I'm just pointing towards the screen. Power comp, truly. Carlos has a mop of hair, but he do be hot, so we'll give him a cop pass. Yeah, we will give him a cop pass a little bit. And I mean, he does go a little bit against the government at the end there, so, like, it's fine, it's fine. But yeah. Jail. You will notice, like, the more recent Blorbos and the more intense Blorbos, because, you know, Blorboism is a scale, a spectrum, if you will, as well. So they're, like, very, like, low-key Blorbos in the way of, like, they are my favorites, and I have been, like, looking at a lot of fan art of them, and it's more, like, the fact that they also, like, have a very, very good dynamic, in a sense, in that game specifically, that makes me so interested in them, especially, like, Carlos's side of, like, being this almost, like, devoted puppy towards, like, Jill's more, like like black cat personality. Like, I'm using a lot of this terminology that might not make sense to some of you normies or some of the people who were in completely different corners of the internet. But, like, how a black cat is more like a little bit distant, a little bit like has a little bit of trust issues, and you have to get to know the person a little bit better before you go anywhere else with them. And, you know, Carlos being very, like, puppy-esque in his excitement and stuff. So it fits kind of in there's like these personality pools, essentially. Some of you fucking normies, I'm sorry. There might be some of you in there. Normies? Where? Shiftily looks around. That's very real, Vita. But, like, you know, their dynamic is really what is fascinating about them to me. And also because they're both hot and I'm bisexual, and that was just, I would, you know, sandwich. Anyways, moving on from Resident Evil, because, you know, we want to get, like, done with this. But there will be other, like, moments for a lot of yapping, so, like, don't worry about that. We will enter very briefly into, well, very briefly. This will probably be, like, a longer session of just Genshin characters, because there's like 6 of them that I have on this list. Don't judge me. I swear to God, this is currently the only thing. This is my current hyperfixation. And the fact that I have 6 characters that I like a lot of them is my problem. Don't judge me. Anyways, not that you would, but just, he's so tiny. This is Kazuha. He's very tiny. He is also one of the short kings. He is a samurai. Jill Sandwich mentioned, yes. I can guess 2. Yes. You might also be able to guess the other 2, but yeah, no. 3. Best boy, one of. You go, girl. I will. He's a samurai. He is technically a disgraced samurai because he fled during the Vision Hunt decree, where all of the Inazuman residents, inhabitants of the Inazuman Islands had to, or under law, would have had to give up their visions. Visions, for all of the people who don't know what Genshin is, which is totally fair, I'm not judging you. Visions are what you channel your elemental, like, powers through, and you wear that on your person. And in the Inazuman Archon quest, it is also kind of explained in a way that your vision also represents your ambition. So if you lose your vision, or it gets taken away from you, there's a big plot point about the people who have been taken their visions away, that they lose their ambition and all of their will to live, technically. And that's a little bit heavy, but, like, sort of, in a way. And also forget a huge chunk of their life. Like, they get point-blank amnesia. Like, one of the other, like, NPC samurais, I suppose, fully forgot that he had a wife at some point, like a girlfriend somewhere. I don't know what it was specifically. But he completely forgot about that because he got his vision taken away and was just aimlessly wandering throughout this one village. It was very upsetting to listen to, really. It was crazy. But he, Kazuha, to get back to the character at hand, did not want to give up his vision, and specifically also had a different thing where he had a friend / like, not blood-related brother. I mean, it really just depends on who you ask. I think it's more like such a good friend that he could pass as his brother, but a lot of people also ship them together, so, like, I don't know, you can see it what you want it, I don't care. That he was, like, with, and they trained together and everything, and it was, like, very wholesome. But at some point, during the Vision Hunt decree, this older person, like his friend, went to challenge the Shogun. The Shogun being Raiden, being the person, the woman in charge of Inazuma at that point, the Archon, the god of Inazuma, the god of Electro as well. The power, Electro, lightning, you know, electronics stuff, you know what I mean? Well, not electronics. They don't have electronics. The Fontanians have electronics, but that's also... Anyways, moving on. That's not important right now. He challenged the Shogun because the Shogun said that if you were to defeat the Shogun in battle, which is essentially impossible, you get to keep your vision. So it's essentially a fool's errand and a suicide mission to go against the Shogun to keep your vision. And he had an Electrovision, which just gets showcased later on in the story. Anyways, again, spoiler warning about Genshin, about the Inazuma quest. I know I already said this. I should probably put it on screen just in case, because there's just going to be so many spoilers, so I'm just going to completely yap about. But yeah, he goes against the Shogun, obviously loses, and loses his vision, which goes dark because if you die, your vision is no longer usable because it represents your personal ambitions and your personal, like... I don't know, I don't want to say your soul, because that sounds a little bit too deep and lovey-dovey, but, like, your ambition, it goes dark when you die. Point blank. So, Kazuha, who was, of course, witnessing all this and was too late to stop his guy from, like, getting murdered by the Shogun, which is completely and utterly, like, understandable when you know how powerful the Shogun is, he caught the vision, and then fled the country towards Liyue. So he fled from imaginary Japan to imaginary, China. Purple woman. You can also pin the comment, lol. Yeah, okay, wait, spoiler warning for everything I talk about. There you go. We're gonna send that, and then I'm gonna pin it. Pin. There you go. Ronin is better than Samurai. It's designed to create as many hyperfixation characters as possible. Yes. I have no idea about anything Genshin, but I could also listen to you explain Genshin lore for hours. Thank you. Same. Oh, that is very sweet. Yeah, like, I'm trying to, like, explain how awesome this character is, technically. Like, yeah. Jack from Metal Gear Rising? Who? I don't know who that is. But, the Genshin Impact simping. Well, it's not necessarily simping only. I'm also just fascinated by this character because all of the Inazuma quest is essentially just his hero's journey, and that makes me like this is so fascinating to me. Like, the sim part is small, the fascination of this character is very big because I think he's really awesome in what he does and how he does it. And he's also a poet, by the way. He's a samurai poet. Did I tell you that? You should know. This is a samurai poet. He's very good at doing the word thing. But yeah, back to Inazuma stuff and the vision hunt decree. So he steals the dead vision of his brother guy friend and flees to Liyue and then gets together with Beidou, who might have also picked him up from the Inazuma, like, docks. Like, that could be. Because, you know, Inazuma is a closed-off country. The Raiden Shogun is very obsessed with making everything, like, eternal, immortality. Just everything stays exactly the same as it was because she's grieving her dead sister who died 500 years ago. This woman cannot let go. But, like, there's other nuanced things that we would talk about if she was on this list, but she isn't. She's also a very nuanced character. It's not just because she can let go of her sister, but, like, it works with it. There's correlation. Anyways. So he gets picked up by Beidou, or they meet somewhere, and they go through the storm outside of the country, go to Liyue, and then Beidou sets up, like, this kind of, like, fight arena thing where the prize essentially is this dead vision, this masterless vision. Jeez, I'm still sick and my nose is so stuffy. This masterless vision that belongs to Kazuha. And, well, essentially, the traveler also gets excited, I mean that too, but also invited to it by Beidou herself, and gets explained the rules and everything, and how, like, it works with the prize and what it is and everything. And we also get to know Kazuha. And we kind of, I don't know if we get explained to that it is like his vision, whatever. He does have a vision. He's an anime character, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna pull on him next week, haha. But yeah, essentially, we go to the, like, trials of finding other characters, like NPCs, to go win this masterless vision. But technically, we didn't want the masterless vision. We just wanted a passage over to Inazuma, which we, you know, clarified with Beto and everything, blah, 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 blah. And, yeah, so, in the midst of it, like, the vision gets stolen, and we go after this dude, and Kazuha essentially is, like, doing an experiment the whole way through, being like, oh yeah, could you maybe awaken it? But, like, he doesn't tell the other person who stole it. He just kind of, like, puts him under immense amount of pressure just to see if that works. If it works to actually make the vision work again. Doesn't work, and he kind of lets him go, and it's like, go scram, it's fine. And then he kind of, I think, yeah, like, immediately afterwards, after the guy scrams, he just tells us, the traveler, about, like, how this dead vision came to be, like, who owned it previously, and that we get to know about, you know, his friend who went against the Shogun, lost it, and everything, and how, you know, he died, his friend died, and now he's, like, grieving his loss, but also trying to find a way to reawaken this masterless vision in, you know, light of his friend dying. But we go through the motions, we go, like, with the, with Beidou and Kazuha to Inazuma. Lots of shenanigans happen there. We meet Toma, we meet Ayaka, we meet lots of people. And essentially afterwards we go to Watatsumi Island, which is where the rebellion is, or the resistance necessarily, with Kokomi and Goru. Goru being Dog Boy, and Kokomi being Sangonomiya Kokomi, who is the divine priestess, who is now war general, essentially, like, turned war general. Then we meet him again, and see him again, see him fight, and then we kind of have him on our side in Inazuma as well, with Beidou and yada yada yada. We go to, like, confront the Raiden Shogun. Just, like, all of this is just to illustrate, like, what, like, how long it goes on until we get to, like, the explosion and the end in his, like, I'm explaining essentially the entire hero's journey. Just bear with me, alright? Bear with me. So we go through the motions, we're helping up, doing different things. I think we did, like, there, in between, there's also, like, a whole plot of, like, the 100th vision being seized, being Toma's, and we have to save him, and he saves us in the end, and oh god, a lot of stuff. Like, Toma has to go into hiding, and the, like, Kamisato clan is, like, in jeopardy because of it, and and everything. Essentially, we also meet Senora there. Senora is one of the Fadui Harbingers, the 8th one, to be specific, I'm pretty sure. We fight her, the Shogun kills her, like, literally uses the same, like, weapon. Himigimi is fucking Ayaka. She's the great Heron thing. She's that. There is a specific term for what the Raiden Shogun uses, but I do not know it. Please do not at me for it. I forgot. Either way, going back to the important stuff, after the fight, she lets us leave with our lives, but that doesn't fucking mean much, because she just kind of stalks us on the way out, and, like, we all almost, like, go dizzy and go down. Like, I don't know what happened, if you just witnessed death and just went limp. I don't know what happened. We get a really major headache. We kind of, like, there's a whole, like, really creepy, like, thingy where you just walk and everything glitches. It's crazy. But yeah, essentially, the Raiden Shogun attacks us again when we are outside of the gates, essentially, and then we have a huge cutscene where, essentially, Kazuha's there. The Raiden Shogun is about to, like, use the sword on the Traveler, and he takes one moment to, like, calculate it in his head, like, just say fuck it, essentially, and the thing that killed his friend, which is that sword trick, essentially, like the boob sword, which is funny, but like probably very traumatic for him as he has witnessed his friend dying from it. Pretty gruesomely, I think, too. We saw fucking La Signora get fucking murdered by it. In 1,000 pieces, I think. Like, that was like the whole thing. Like, she got just exploded into pieces. So that's probably the same thing happened for his friend, his brother, his friend, his brother, his friend, whatever. I just keep repeating myself. And he takes a moment, and then he goes and runs ahead and uses his sword to block this attack from the Raiden Shogun, which is essentially impossible. Can you believe that? It is technically, statistically impossible. But you know what also happens? The dead vision ignites for just a moment, and he has we witnessed that it is exactly a electro vision for that exact moment where he blocks her and actually gets her to go backwards. So like he pushes her back from like attacking the traveler and everybody else, and it's a really, really beautiful moment, I feel like, as well, because he is Jesus burpee. Because he is going against the very thing that killed his brother and his friend, and survives it, and not only survives it, but also uses the vision of his friend to go, like, have that extra power to go against the Raiden Shogun and to block it. Like, not even, like, murder her. That we don't even do that. She survives. But, like, to have this moment of resistance, to have this moment of being like, yes, I am stronger than what I've witnessed, that is so fascinating to me. Like, it is so good. And, I mean, obviously we fight, and he doesn't really have that much more interaction with the the Raiden Shogun. But in the end, like, cutscenes, we also get a moment where we go to the grave of his friend, which is essentially just a katana just stuck into the ground, and he lays this dead vision in front of the katana, which is again dead, because only as his ambition doubled to such size that he ignites both of his visions, it goes dark again, because that moment of, you know, power, that moment of ambition only lasts so long, right? And he lies the dead vision down, and he essentially makes peace with his friend's passing. And it is so beautiful. Like, it is a full circle story, and I love it to pieces. Like, technically, the Traveler is just an accessory to the story of Kadera Kazuha. Like, that is, like, his story, more or less. And it is so fascinating to me, and that is why he is one of my favorite characters of the story, because God, like, he is not only charming, he is not only a poet, he's not only a fighter, and a good one at that, and a really good playable character in meta, he is also a character with a really wholly fascinating story, so, mwah. But yeah, to conclude, he is awesome. Muso no Hitotachi. Yes, that one. Thank you, Hidden. On his ass. Oh man, traumatic booba swords, truly. It's more of just spoil about characters, but yeah, people do believe you can explain without spoiling. Impossible. Nah. So nice to listen to him, thank you. Because his name is also Raiden. Yeah, no. White-haired cyborg with middle jaw and bandage over his eye and a sword he can't hold with his high heels. I have no idea who that is, but that sounds awesome. The more you know, we are... lol. Yes. Said blocking her was impossible, then he blocked her. Yes, I mean, it was impossible, technically, but this moment of, like, there's so much ambition to protect that he had the ambition of two visions to go against her, and he blocked her. That was literally the only thing. Like, he didn't defeat her, he only blocked her. Like, that's still how powerful she is. But, yeah. Holy shit, I'm like 2 minutes late. Oh no. Man, Genshin's story is more interesting than I thought. Right? Like, there's so much, like, interesting story in there, which that was my main motivation to actually get into the game, next to Riesli, of course. Because I'm a huge sim, and that's just what I do. Haha. And, like, 2 or 3 of these characters I actually don't know 100% of. I just know Kazuha's story 100% because I've played through it already. The other Genshin characters I might not know as much about, but I will tell you a lot of yapping as well. The traveler is there to witness. Exactly. I mean, the traveler is literally there to witness. That is what Zhongli's story quest also is about, of like, to tell the stories to the traveler so the traveler can bring it to different worlds so the stories stay immortal, right? It's a really, really beautiful concept. Also his character design. Mwah! Yes, he's very autumn-coded, which is like already a plus in my book. He looks like Venus, like the planet. Hell yeah. Okay, so is the impossibility that one person cannot block her if it's the rule of 2 or something, she can be blocked, but no one opponent can block her. I might be too autistic for this. Well, it's more like it's such an inevitable power of a weapon. I mean, I don't really understand it either. So like, that's just the surface level of stuff that I understand is like, it is the power and the everything of it is so inevitable that you can't really like go against it. And I mean, there's also some suspension of disbelief and anime logic in there of like, oh yeah, I can block her because I've got so much ambition in me, you know? You said statistically impossible, not like nearly impossible or thought to be impossible. Probably more accurate would be thought to be impossible. There you go. Like, everybody who has gone against her and she used Muso no Hitachi, the sword, the thing, the attack, like, if she used it, you would be dead. Has been no other option. There has only been people who have died from it, and not, like, at least not mentioned in the story itself. Nobody has ever gone against her in that attack and survived. So, that's what I mean by statistically. So, it's like a frick fate thing? I don't know. It's supposed to be impossible, so it makes it incredible when he does it, so it's a breaking the odds thing, kinda. Yeah, it's just anime logic. Yeah, like, I think still it's really awesome, but yeah. Basically, she's a god. The likeness of a second vision activating it is so little that blocking her is in the first place should be impossible, but something incredible happened. Second vision awakened a god. Yeah, yes. That, yes. Okay, supposed to be. Got it. Yes. Anyways, I don't have a fucking fascinating tier, but I'll put him right here in holds very gently, because that's what I do. I hold him very gently. Boink. I mean, technically, he also goes, I mean, that's, at this point, kind of obvious, isn't it? That he also goes down here, but, you know, most and first of all, he is in holds gently. I don't kin him, he's not necessarily problematic, and he's also not in morbid fascination. So, there you have it. Kazuha. That was a lot. Hold the impossible boy. Yes, I hold him so gently. Anyways, next one is Kaya. We should just zoom in at this point. Him. He was the first character that I really, really liked in the game. But I'm only putting him on there because that is well known at this point. That he was the first one I really, really liked. However, later on, through some voice lines, I just think he's kind of meh. He's, in comparison to the other characters, Kazuha, he's becoming rather a little bit mid. And he also lied to the traveler, so, like, I can't excuse that. No, I mean, he's fine. He's fine. I hold him very gently, but maybe not as gently as I hold Kazuha. He is also a cop. So there's that. That's all you need to know, I guess. I mean, I think everybody at least liked him in the beginning. Maybe. but there's other cooler characters now. But yeah, he was my main for like at least the first, not even month, the first like 2 weeks. I have played very little, but also so much. I have 630 hours in this game. I mean, at this point, it's more like 650. But I started in December 26th, so it hasn't been a long while. So it's rather than like I've played his character as a main for like 2 weeks till I was like level 35 or 40. You know, and then I started playing Ayaka because she's a main DPS and he is not a main DPS, and I forced him into that role when he really shouldn't be. Not the cops, no! Yeah, he is the cavalry captain of the Knights of Favonius, which is essentially just a cop. So, yeah. Blorbo of Disappointment, yeah. I think he will eventually become better as we explore Conria more. I fucking hope so. Yeah, we know you like another Genshin cop. Yes, we'll get to that. I mean, since he begins with a W, he will, you know, be later on. But that's also kind of weird because Alhaitham comes before him, but he isn't at the top. I don't know what's going on. Technically, Chao should be last, but, you know, I'm already giving you away a little bit more of that. But, yeah, I don't, you know... Kaya is one of the first, like, characters you get. You get him for free as a 4-star at the very beginning, so you even have characters to begin with. And, he is just... kinda mid. Not gonna lie. Haha. Anyways. A little bit of water for my throat. And then we're gonna have to zoom in on the simplest a little bit. Just so we can get the next character, which is this guy. This is Chao. He begins with an X. It's very fun. He's a very fun character. He is... I know a little bit about him. Not as much as I'd like. But I know enough, I think. Kaya slander, I would never. Baby. He is essentially what you would call a demigod? Sort of. He is an Adeptus. He is a conjurer of demons. Well, not a conjurer of demons. I forgot his title. My goodness. He's a what the fuck is his name? The Blubber of the People. Conqueror of Demons. That's the C word I was looking for. Conqueror of Demons, not conjurer. I mean, they kind of, the Wortlaut is kind of there, but like not necessarily. Anyways, he is an Adeptus, which is essentially demigod, angel, protector, mismatch. Mix, sludge. He's pretty cool. He is a recluse hermit boy. These are people who turn into animals like the crane lady. Sort of. He specifically doesn't turn into an animal. People have been like kind of speculating what kind of animal he would be. I think his constellation, I don't even know. What is your constellation? I can look that up. Don't worry about it. I will look up what constellation this boy has. Constellations. He can tell me, right? Hello, Wikipedia. There you are. I mean, I already have it open. I have it open in my tabs. It just will take a while until I get there. Show me your calorie. Yeah, he's got a little... a lattice nemesis, which sounds a little bit like Nemesis. His Adeptus name is Aladus, of course. His collection, it is not his mask. It is not his mask. As far as I can see... Wait, can I copy this? Because this is a PNG. Yes, load in. You can do it. I believe in you. Otherwise, I'll just copy this. I don't care. No, it's not a picture. Okay, here. Copy image. This... Paste? This is his, wait. This is his constellation. So, wrong. It's a bird. It's kind of like a phoenix, which is kind of fun. What? Yeah, I was surprised too. I also expected him to have his mask as his constellation. But yeah, it's a bird. As a Beyblade fan, I like it when things are based on constellations. Yeah. A constellation is essentially when you pull a character multiple times, their constellation fills out, and said constellation gives you a little bit more extra powers. You get 6 extra constellation slots, and they give you better stuff. I mean, the 5 stars, like him, and Kazuha, and Child, and AHHAHAHAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHH15 all of those kind of already function very well as only, like, their constellation 0, like, just having pulled them once. But a lot of, like, 4 stars, like Kaya, would work a lot better if you had them at constellation 6, for example, or higher constellations in general. Either way, him. To get back to him. I'm trying to get my notes straight because, like, I know Kazuha's stuff by heart because I'm so fascinated by it. And, like, I'm kind of, like, I feel like I'm put on the spot a little bit to the point of, like, I have just forgotten literally everything about Chao that there is to know, and it is making me nervous. Burp, indeed. Also, the stream quality. But yeah, he was around. He is old. YouTube, stop buffering. I need this content. It's on my end, unfortunately. It's a red box down there. It's very red. I don't know what's going on either. I don't know if it's the rain, the storm, if people are just using the internet a lot. 'Cause I have it's horrendous. Me too. Yeah, it's on my end. I swear it's on my end. I'm sorry. Oh no, it just dropped to 0. It just dropped to 0. Oh god. You too with that. Yeah. Oh god. This is bad. Very bad. What? I don't even know. Are you doing alright? You're doing alright? Kind of, a little bit. I don't know. I'm scared. I'm sorry. Yeah. Truly. But yeah. Oh god, really? Internet, why are you like this? Why are you like this? You were doing so well earlier. Why do you now want to censor me? What is up with that? Why do you not like me talking about my blorbos? Well, that shouldn't be too bad. Nah, it can never be your fault. It's YouTube. Well, it is OBS. The thingy is red. I don't know. That should be on my part, isn't it? Tell the people to stop using the internet. I can't do that. They're working. Hello, Citron from Plants vs. Zombies. How are we doing today? I'm doing great. I'm talking about my blurbos. So, sit back and enjoy, my dude. But yeah. I was gonna ignore the red box in the bottom there and just go further on about Chao. He has been around since before the Great War of the Gods of Genshin, essentially. Before Kanria, before the fight 500 years ago. Essentially, he was previously under a different god. I don't know if we know the name of said god that he was previously, like, stationed on, and that we know throughout his character story that you get to unlock when you get better friendship with him, which is very fun. The no data is just making me so nervous. Oh, okay, yes. Oh god, I don't know a lot about him in between the stages of him becoming someone else, something else. But I know Zhongli, aka Rex Lapis, picked him up from the other bad god, or bad master? I don't know if it was a god. It might have been a god. He picked him up from there and gave him a name, which is Chao. And essentially that is why Chow owes his like livelihood essentially to Rex Lapis, and that's why he is more or less like whatchamacallit, indebted to him? Question mark? But like only on one side. Like Rex Lapis, aka Zhongli, is like, don't worry about it. But I'm trying to remember the details. It's been so long. Since that was like one of the first things we did, and I was like, oh, way back in January. My brain is not what it used to be. M20, this should not be happening. But yeah, essentially, he got a new name, or a name to begin with, and was, yeah, okay, under that, okay, it's coming back slowly. Under that different god, I think he was also during Khaenri'ah, I can't fucking remember. He is a Yaksha, okay. We're getting so many fucking things, so confused in so many ways. I was so, like, concise and very much, like, from A to B with Kazuha, that now Chow is just all over the place, because I know so much, but, like, from so many things, in so many ways. But yeah, so he's a Yaksha. There were 5 Yakshas that were, like, very prominent. I don't know most of the names. I don't think that we get told the names. We get the nameless Yaksha, which turns out to be the 4-armed one that we meet in the Perilous Trail quest, who was cool. After Chow fought for Zhongli, he was so hurt and tired he almost died until Venti saved him thanks to his flute to ease his pain. Thank you. There you go. Helen knows the stuff. But like specifically about that, I know a little bit more about the future part of him, but you know, essentially, God, where was I? Most of his Yaksha friends, which are essentially like his family, even though he was kind of even a recluse back then, he was very drawn back and stuff. Like, that's just his thing, which is, like, fair. He's very hermit-coded. But yeah, he lost every single one of them. The nameless Yaksha was the one that went missing. The other 3 went insane because of their karmic debt. The karmic debt being made because, or being, like, having accumulated over the time that they've just been mindless, like, slaughter machines that have just killed for their masters for forever and stuffs. And also, Chow gets incredibly hurt when he uses his ult, so that's probably why he was so hurt during the war when he fought for Zhongli. He just gets incredibly hurt. I try my best to keep him alive when I fight with him, but it's hard. But yeah. Essentially, all of his friends die or go missing, and he doesn't know where that last one is, but he is essentially also just given up hope on ever finding him again. But yeah, like, this karmic debt being accumulated over years and years and years and years. He is now at least 600 to 700 to 1,000 years old. This man is old as shit. Not as old as Zhongli. He is prime material grandpa at like 6,000 to 7,000 years old. That man is ancient. But you know how gods are. Anyways, Chow. His karmic debt, which we were still stuck at, essentially, like, materializes in, like, little, like, greenish, tealish smoke just going around him, or around other people, in that sense. He's got a really cool idle animation with that, too, but that affects other monsters around him to the point that he has to kill them or exercise them to get rid of that karmic debt, because it accumulates to the point that he eventually will go crazy. Like, that is an inevitability. He's kind of just waiting for it, and he does truly believe that he deserves said karmic debt and said, like, pain and suffering, and everything he's, like, gotten is all deserved because he's killed so many people in the war. Which is, like, in a way fair, but in another way also just like, oh no, my poor boy. But yeah, like in his story quest, for example, we do meet him while we are investigating someone who does turn out to be a false adeptus, who's also parading around telling everybody he's one of the Yaksha. No, the edge and the sand, truly. And we kind of, while we're investigating the other one, the false one, we are finding out a lot about how, how Chow was created, what his backstory is and everything, in a book that we read that is also narrated by Zhongli himself. And that is also like one of the trailers for Chow. Either way, we did watch Southern Zeka's channel thingy majig, so if you want to look at that, you should check out one of his latest VODs where I was, so you could go look at that. I think it was it this one? I think it was the last one, like the first stream we ever did on this topic together about the Genshin character trailers, so like, look at that. Anyways, Yakshas, yes, false adeptus. And we also get to know about one of the other Yaksha who wasn't one of the 5, but was still important, and his shrine is like completely decimated and everything, and we often meet Chow there because he looks at the lanterns from that vantage point, because they always go over the hill from where he is there at said shrine to stay there with the guy. Anyways, this false adeptus that we meet, essentially we exorcise him and everything, and we're just like, Chow gets all scary and his tiny king kind of like he is very scary if he wants to be. Like, I'm not really making fun of him in that way, but like we do kind of scare him out of doing anything further, and he then does restore this little like shrine essentially for this other adeptus. And Chow is very, like, happy about that, and, well, as happy as he can be. And, that is also very, like, a cute little thing that has happened in his story quest. But the main thing where you get a lot of, like, interactions and lore-ish about him is when we get to the Perilous Trail quest, which this Perilous Trail quest gets us to the chasm, and that is also the quest where we find out about the nameless last Yaksha and how he died, and what made me bawl my eyes out live on stream. So keep tuned in, hee to hear about how I cried because of 5 words that this man said. Essentially, we descended to the chasm, which is like a big, like, how would you say that? Like, it's kind of like a mining facility in the outskirts of Liyue. So, in the middle, like, Liyue and Sumeru, like, literally, like, you cross the chasm and you are in Sumeru. Like, it's between them. And we go there because we want to investigate something with, what was it, Yanfei, Yelan, we meet Ito there, and Shinobu, and then we also see Chow. But the thing is, we kind of go into one of the temples that we see down there and kind of get transported between realities, to the point that when we call out for Chow, because that's like his thing is like, if you can't bring yourself to kill somebody, if you can't, like that's even in his introduction, like, if you can't bring yourself to kill somebody, call out my name, Chow, Adeptus Chow. And we try that, and he doesn't answer, because he was previously there looking for the nameless adepti. No, Yaksha, sorry, not the nameless adepti. He was not an adepti back then, and he isn't now. But the nameless Yaksha he was searching for in the mines, and was like, hey, what are you doing here? And, we're like, oh, we're looking for something else. Have fun. And I thought we were gonna get joined by him, but he's like, bye! And went on his merry way to go look for his friend. essentially, like, we search for, like, we call for him and he doesn't answer, and we're just like angsty. It's like, no, he doesn't answer us, he promised. And he didn't. However, we figure out through that we are in different, like, realities, or a different, like, layer of reality, to the point where he doesn't know we were even calling for him. Breathing is important. Yada 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 yada. We figure out that there's, like, thinner layers of where these two realities meet, match, that kind of thing, where they merge, rather. So, we go there, we call for him out again. He comes out of there. He's incredibly hurt. It's bad. Like, there was before that, we also saw him in one of these things where we had to fight and do a puzzle. That's also a thing. So we had him there. Oh, fuck. He was there. And then in that moment where the reality smashed, we kind of pulled him out of there, and we're like, can you please come over? And he's like, fine. And he's incredibly hurt. We try to, like, help him a little bit, and then he tags along with us. But essentially, over this course of the exploration and, like, having him to help out, we discover that we are essentially also looking for the same thing. We are investigating the chasm, and he's looking for the nameless yaksha, and said nameless yaksha is the thing we're technically investigating. Yada yada yada. So, through numerous things that aren't necessarily important to him specifically, we figure out that there's, like, a seal, and we need to break through that seal to get out of this merging reality so we can ever escape this thing. He immediately suggests himself to be sacrificed and left behind so everybody else can escape, because he needs to use all of his power to get us out, and said, like, that means essentially that he needs to be left behind because he doesn't have enough power to get all of us out. We immediately be like, no, we don't want to do that. And we come up with a different plan. Said plan doesn't necessarily work out. We get to this catalyst that Yelan essentially realizes is, oh, hey, this is, like, a catalyst that we use in, like, our clan. We could use it out. Like, we could probably use that. Some of her relatives were actually the ones that sealed this, together with the nameless yaksha, the friend of Chao's back in time. And we do get to hear about that, and then we go and try and leave. And leaving essentially means that Chao has to put all of his yaksha strength into beaming us all out of there, fucking Star Trek style. But that, in that last moment, also means that he is excluding himself from the rescue mission. Which is like, of course he does, because he does believe that he deserves this kind of thing. Like, he deserves to be left behind, killed in battle, all of that. But essentially, he does get left behind for a moment there. Everybody of us gets out, and he kind of gets flung back into the abyss and kind of almost drowns there. Until Ex Machina kind of happens. I mean, I know it's not the full thing. There's, like, a whole extra part at the beginning. No, Ex Machina. I forgot how the first part goes, but you know what I mean. Like, God out of the machine. Baba. And it's the literal God out of the machine. Well, not out of the machine, but it's Zhongli, and he saves him. And he's like, haha, no you don't. And then he pulls him out. And Chao at that point, before Zhongli goes to save him, is already accepting his death. He's already accepting that he's gonna go out like that. He is closing his eyes. He's at peace with it. But Zhongli gets him out, and there's a moment, like, between, like, the people getting out and Chao getting out, that they are just, like, in light panic, like, in full-blown panic, actually. Hella panic, this is a German saying, in hell, light, you know, in a blind panic, scrambling to see if, like, he will get out as well, but yeah, he does eventually, and he knows who got him out, because that was Zhangli. That's his, again, his life is indebted to Zhangli. And I think, I don't even know if it was before or where that cutscene fits in, but there's like a moment where Zhangli knows that Xiao's in the chasm. He knows what he's up to. He knows that he's trying to search for his, like, his person, the nameless Yaksha. Because it's like, you know how dangerous this is. And Xiao goes, yeah, well, I didn't want to ask for permission in that sense. Deus Ex Machina, baby, thank you. But, yeah, like, that's that whole moment. And the party, like, eventually, like, is like, oh my god, Xiao, are you okay? And then eventually, like, departs ways, like, people go either which way, and then he waits and asks the traveler if the traveler has some time later, so they can meet up by the shrine of, I don't even know what his name was. It was something with P. Perseus? Something like that. Perseus? Probably. I can't remember. It probably wasn't Perseus, because that's Greek. But whatever. He's one of the Yaksha. That's the temple. That's who the temple is dedicated to. And it's kind of, you know, it's being a work in progress. And we go over there after the entire mission is over. And we talk to him. And we get to know about this nameless Yaksha and his entire backstory and how he died and how he forgot everything except, like, even his name, his entire family. He forgot why he's down there. He's just fighting. He is literally the machine. He's the machine of slaughter. He's a slaughter machine. That's what Xiao also, like, refers to himself as. Him and all the other Yaksha. He refers to himself and all of the others as slaughter machines, and that is all they're good for. And that he deserves all the karmic debt, and he deserves to go crazy, he deserves to die, essentially. Like, all of that is just a neatly packaged package of all angst and wump and everything. It's horrible, and I love it. Anyways, we get an entire cutscene about this nameless Yaksha, and how he eventually remembers, just before he passes, essentially, that he remembers his family, he remembers who he is, he remembers his name, and he remembers all that was for, and what it was for, and what he was fighting for. With this other soldier that was down there, who then eventually probably died all by himself, which is even sadder, really. But they were, like, keeping the seal shut from the other side, essentially. Like, they were closed in with everybody, or everything else that they were trying to keep out of the real world, while the other soldiers went home. These two were kept on the other side of the seal to make sure it was sealed. Nameless Yaksha dies, and that's the end of that cutscene, essentially. And it was a very wholesome moment, and it already almost made me cry. And then we go back to the dialogue we're having with Xiao in the real world. And there's all of this, like, we're just slaughter machines, there's nothing else we're good for, essentially. And I don't remember a lot of the dialogue, but that's essentially where it goes from. And know that we also know a lot about what happened in the chasm and stuff. The traveler essentially says, no, what I believe is that they're heroes. They're not bad, they're heroes. They saved everybody, and they're heroes. And what essentially made me weep, what made me bawl my eyes out for a whole, like, 5 minutes, was Xiao replying to that, saying heroes. I like that word. And it made me burst out crying, like, immediately. Essentially just because of the notion, what was behind there. I've talked about this before. I've talked about this multiple times. It's also in the stream of the Perilous Trail Quest. But essentially all of this, there's so much weighing down these words, right? Like the realization of we are more than slaughter machines. We, and essentially also himself, the only person who survived, the only person who's still here to live and tell this tale, is considered a hero. What he's done are heroic deeds. He protects. He's literally stationed at Wangshu Inn to protect it. Even though it is protecting them from his karmic debt, it is still protecting them. He might be at fault, but being indebted with karmic debt is not his fault. He doesn't choose that. That happened to him, as far as I'm aware. It's not his fault that he has it. He is actively trying to defend people from it and save people from it. But his friends and himself being regarded as heroes, being people that aren't resented for what they have done, at least not as much as he thinks, being worth something more than a slaughter machine, being regarded in such a soft and simple way by the traveler, someone he essentially trusts enough to have a cordial like relationship with, like a friendship with, a tentative attachment to the point where even fellow adepti are like, what did you do to him? Like, he was such a recluse, and now you're like essentially friends. You've brought him out more often than I've ever seen him in all of my years of an adepti. It's crazy. I mean, all of the Traveler X Chow shippers are going insane with all of this content, but like, but all of the meaning behind those words, which was essentially what made me just cry, and yeah, like there's also so much character development of him being this very gruff, standoffish guy at the beginning, to him warming up to us ever more, and I do refer to him as like a scrunkly street cat a lot, which like is fair, I feel. So yeah, so me, a Traveler X Chow shipper, going insane with all this content. Yes. I mean, same. I have done so much like Chow and Traveler art, you wouldn't believe. But yeah, like, to the point where in the most recent Lantern Rite, he literally is like, hey, do you want to, like, after the Lantern Rite, want to let a lantern go into the sky? Like, one he not only made himself, but specifically asked the Traveler to help him get it up in the air. When one of the first Lantern Rites, he apparently, I don't know, I wasn't there, he apparently said, like, I mean, why, I mean, it's all just trash in the ocean, how dare they, and whatever. To the point that he literally made one himself with his own 2 hands, to then light it with the Traveler. And, yeah, like, it is such an important scene as well. It was my background for the longest time afterwards. And afterwards, like, for the duration of the Lantern Rite, you can still talk to him, and the only thing he says, when you, like, interact with him, like, the one line he keeps repeating is just kind of like, the name of your traveler, thank you. Which is so cute, and makes me emotional every time that I think about it. So yeah, he has a lot of nuance within him. He is a very interesting character. He has a lot of great story attached to him as well. And I just think he is neat. But yeah, even though I had kind of as Arrow, but that's fair. Each to their own, really. Okay, I was trying to think of what yummy food he reminded me of, and I finally got one. Broccoli. No, I think you're just thinking of, what's his name? Broccoli from Boku no Hero Academia, you know who I mean. Both spiritually and physically. Well, his favorite dish is almond tofu, actually, so there's that. And the effect that it gives you is its heightened your crit rate, so that's food for thought, literally. I wish you could see his favorite meal, and almond tofu, it's pretty just like him, yeah. Also, his teapot lines, they're so cute, yeah. As, like, I will protect this sanctuary, for you. It's also, oh god, it's so cute. I'm very aware of his specialty dish. Yeah, fair. Deku, thank you. I love food that heightens my crit rate. Hell yeah! It's heightened crit rate time. Yippee! But yeah, that's to him. Mostly he's up here. Mostly he's up here. He's in the hold gently thing. I mean, technically he would also be in the hot and problematic tier, but I don't believe he belongs there, so I think I'll just put him right next to the other short king that I have in here. And that's that. I don't think I could be able to date him comfortably if he was real. I don't know. It would need a lot of work. We'll get there when we get over here. You know, he would be here. He would be here. He would be then there. But yeah. We've been going for 1.5 hours and we've made it barely to number 5. This definitely needs like a part 2, 3, 4. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna cut it short at 11 probably, so I'll still have enough. I still have enough time to go to bed. Because again, 5 a.m. Speaking of which, shit, I need to make an alarm for tomorrow before I forget about it because I don't have one set up for tomorrow. 4:30 makes sense. And then 4:45 and 5 because I need to be out of the house by 5:30. So, yep. And the other alarms are just so that I actually wake up somewhere at some point. You need your sleep, friend. Yes, please. I think I should actually put an alarm as well at 23 so I don't, you know, because I might forget about it, so okay. Or 22:45, so I still have enough time to wrap it up before it goes to midnight. Go to bed. There you go. It's gonna be to Chrissy Wake Up, the remix. Because that is my alarm. Can you believe it? Speaking of which, he will come later after the Genshin characters. Next candidate. Child. This guy. Oh god, that's gonna also take me a while to get all of his details straight. But it will probably be another longer yap session, so strap in, people. It's also gonna be a long one because I have a lot to say about him. I mean, that you can say that about a lot of these people. That's why we need like 6 parts or something to get through this goddamn list. I'm so sorry already. But yeah. Child. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk? I will spoil it right away. I could literally see myself, if he was real, not only would I date him, he might be a little bit whiny, but he is 100% marriage material. I'm sorry to spoil it already, but like, he's up there. I can already see like Heelin probably disagree with me. A lot of people who know Genshin probably disagree with me, but like me personally, yes. I mean, in the perspective of if I was in the position of the Traveler, and like, not just me as a person necessarily, that, god, that's gonna have complications, but like, if he was the same way towards me as he was towards the Traveler, which is, they already have a predisposed, like, dynamic and stuff, then yes. If not, I don't think he'd like me. But yeah, not a B. Never apologize for being president of Yap Nation. Lamau. Imagine they make a movie and cast Ed Sheeran to play Child. I fucking hope not. He's not that pathetic. I sure hope so. Genshin Impact the Jukebox musical. No. I hate that. Hate that. But yeah. But no. But yes. Yeah. Him. He is the 11th and thus last harbinger of the Tsaritsa of Snezhnaya. He is technically Russian. Also, I need to blow my nose. Sorry. Where are we going? I have no idea. I just pressed a lot of button that I wasn't supposed to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're back. It's alright. We're here. Damn, Marvel Steve. We just went through so many scenes. I'm so sorry. Oh boy. Alright. Okay. We're going back. It's alright. It's alright. We're here. Alright. 11th Harbinger of the Tsaritsa. He is fantasy Russian. Where did we go? What did we do? So he is one of the, but not the most powerful Fatui there are. So the special army of the Fatui, he's one of the powerful ones. The ones that deserve a title. So he's technically one of the Dukes of the Queen, essentially. See, so damn hard my internet started lagging. No! He is a goofball at best, and a nuisance at worst. But I do love him very much. He's adorable. He's also, you know, dangerous and incredibly, like, fight-ophilic. He loves fighting so much. I'm pretty sure he gets horny from it. It's that bad. God, he just loves asking people to fight him. He loves fighting people. He loves fighting everybody. It's great. Be powerful. Where do I start? Okay, let's start with where we meet him, just to, like, explain to you who he is, because I've done the same thing for Chao, I've done the same thing for Kazuha. I haven't done the same thing for Kaya, because he's moved so far down the line that he doesn't even deserve that. Anyways, Child. We meet him in Liyue, right after, we witness the fall, quite literally, and the death of Rex Lapis, at least his dragon form. It kind of just plops right down onto the altar that we were currently, like, sitting at, trying to pray for him and be like, hello, Rex Lapis, bestow upon us your wisdom. And he does show up, but as a corpse. Yay. Not yay, but you know what I mean. So we are fleeing the scene because we are, of course, suspects, because we are outlanders. We are travelers. We haven't been there for long, so essentially we immediately get, like, flanked down as, like, it was you! You killed him! It's like, okay, calm down. We didn't, I swear. So we kind of flee the scene, and just when we are, like, essentially getting caught, he jumps from the bushes and is, for the traveler at least, that is in girl form, so Lumine, he's just like, hey girly, or like, watch out girly, actually, and then he fights the Liyue cops off, and then we flee the scene. Great! And, we're kind of still on edge because Liyue is, like, right after Mondstadt, of course. And in Mondstadt, we see one of the other Harbingers, number 8, I think, La Senora, essentially steal the Gnosis. So the thing that makes a god, which is a special internal vision of Venti, we don't make. Senora steals it, and steals it very brutally. So essentially you have to go into the chest to rip it out, because there's a little hollow inside of your chest where the Gnosis goes. And she tears it out in front of her eyes, and Venti essentially goes slack like a marionette and has to heal extensively, and is very hurt. It's very, very hurt. So we're, of course, very on edge with the Fatui, to the point where as soon as we figure out that Child is a Fatui member, and even one of the Harbingers that, you know, essentially hurt our friend God Venti so much that he almost died, and definitely lost his godhood, you know, we are, it's at least immediately, you know, suspicious of him. And, like, one of his lines is like, okay, I'm kind of a bad guy, which is, like, cute. Top favorites, SS tier, there you go. Friend T, yes. But yeah, we do talk to him, and we're, like, trying to figure out what to do next, but we're also very wary of him. So we go to the Northland Bank. I'm trying to, like, recollect everything of this, because, it's been 2 months, so, yeah. I mean, it's been 3 months. We started at, like, the 6th of January. But, yeah. We go to the Northland Bank. He gives us a sigil of permission that will let us go through the abode of the Adepti and not get hurt. Essentially. And, we do that. We go there, and we meet all of the other Adepti, like Cloud Retainer, Mountain Shaper, Skyscraper. I forgot the last one. His overall vibes from what you say about him, he makes me think of Jesper a bit. Only, like, personality and vibes. Yes. He's not a gambler, though. Like, that's the kind of, like, a big factor. Like, he's not a gambler. The only thing he gambles with is his life. Which, like, and he does it a lot. I'm trying to think of any more comparabilities, whatever. I mean, I don't think he's bisexual. I don't know, he might be. I mean, a lot of people ship him with Zhongli, so there's that. But he also has expressed to letters to his literal family that he would leave the Fatui to travel with Lumine. So, like, simp? I don't know. Anyways, we'll get to that, because that's a huge point why he's on the list. Hi, Aaron! Isn't he a fight sexual? I did mention that. Yes, you're right on the money. He is. Yes. Cloud Retainer, Mountain Shaper, Sky, whatever the fuck he is. The other one of the Adepti. We go meet with them, we fight a bunch of, people. But on our own, you know, as you do. When does he show up next? He is also essentially like the Archon Quest's sugar daddy, because he has a lot of money, with the Fatui, because he's also, like, he's stationed at the Northland Bank. He's one of the debt collectors. He has a lot of money. So he's like, here, have some spending money. It's like fucking 500,000 gold. Mora, whatever. Yeah, any specifics, they're clearly very different, but, like, the energy mix in my mind, that's fair. Yeah. They do, like, they could be similar. They could get along, probably. But yeah, like, that's also, like, one of the things, like, he does give a lot of money, and also, like, when we go to Baiju and meet him and, Chi-Chi for the first time, he's also like, huh, you need this paid for, huh, for sure, cool, there you go. And then, we also have a sub-quest with Chi-Chi where she's asking for cocoa goat milk. Do you want to know what the cocoa goat is? A coconut. And he actually offers Baiju a direct trading route to give him, say, coconuts. So just kind of like a bribe, like not a bribe, but to make connections and be like, hey, we could set this up with Fatui, don't worry about it. But yeah, we kind of, like, through this and that, we do get, like, a little bit closer. We do befriend him in a way. We do get to know Zhongli through him, because he's like, oh, hey, I know this dude. I have this contact. We can go meet him. And then we go meet him as well. Yada, 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 yada. At some point, he does betray us, because it turns out he's one of the puppets for La Senora, and he has been, you know, working on trying to drown Liwe in a big wave of a tsunami. Essentially, he has been working with, in, like, a subplot that we were trying to figure out, that sigils of permission, which are, like, godly fragments, essentially, that still contain a little bit of godly power. He's working on duplicating a lot of them to then summon slash resurrect one of the big gods that was buried under the sea, and that was then trying to, of course, fight, you know, Liyue and drown all of its people. Yay. So he was involved in a plot of that caliber. And of course, a lot of people don't like him. And he kind of domino effect, or butterfly, no, domino effect, kind of, brings a lot of stuff in motion that makes the Fatui even more hated than they were before. Yay! Especially in Liyue. Because they were technically working together with them, but after this little stunt, they were not. Yay! And that's where a lot of Fatui in the chasm were starving, because they have got cut off from the world and are now starving without rations. Thank you, child. You're doing so much for the economy. Anyways, there's a whole thing where he fights us in the House of Gold, and that is also where his weekly boss fight is, that resets every 6 days. Well, 7 days. I'm trying to recollect stuff that was happening there. I don't know what happened first. I think it was, I think our fight happened first. And then the Sigil of Permission summoning happened. I don't know. At least at some point we fought him in all of his versions. So he himself with his Hydrovision and his fuck-off whale that he can just summon, because why not? You can't summon that as his normal character, but sure, why not? His delusion character, which is like, he has a delusion, which gives him electro powers, which were also mentioned in Inazuma later, so every normal person that uses a delusion gets incredibly hurt by using said delusion. His next stage is Foul Legacy, which is his, essentially, like, his final boss version, and his full Harbinger version. Foul Legacy is, like, the thing that also, like, the Tsaritsa, we also fight the Tsaritsa, and she's also, like, not the Tsaritsa, no, we're not there yet. La Senora, we fight her in Azuma, and she also becomes, like, this, like, rot. Like, she was, I think, cryo and then turns fire, right? Like, the delusion is a different thing. And she's, like, the Queen of Fire, whatever, that. We fight him, he becomes, like, a Cyclops in his Foul Legacy version, and has a really cool cape, and it looks really cool. And, yeah, that's that. He's very fight sexual, he loves that. And the fight was very good. But to get more to when he moved from S tier to SS tier, he's just a little water boy. He likes whales. His fucking constellation is one of the god creator whales that is out there. It's crazy. This man is so overpowered in theory. But alas. To go back to why he moved up the ranks is also his story quest. His story quest revolves around the fact that his brother, forgot his name. Toru? No, Toru? No. Is it Toru? I don't even fucking know. Tony has a sister. His brother has a name. I forgot it. But essentially his brother comes from all the way in Nizaya to go see Mr. Cyclops. Or was it Mr. Cyclops? Yeah. It's the Ruin Guards. Giles has been explaining to his brother that there are Ruin Guard toys, and that he's a toy seller instead of a Fatui Harbinger of the army of Fatui. So, like, he's keeping his baby brother, like, in the dark still. Like, Tonya knows his other older sister, or at least older than Tonya. Those know that he is, a Fatui Harbinger, and he just, like, write home a lot because he's cute like that, and very much a family man. I mean, look at him. Cute. Essentially, his brother comes over and is like, hey, I want to see Mr. Cyclops, and I want to meet them in real life, and I also want to see my brother. So we bring him to his brother, And try to keep him away from any ruin guards, because that's very fucking dangerous, because they're one of the, like, hardest, like, normal bosses to fight. At least, I mean, it was until I got my freeze team in, and, you know, AHHAHAHAHHA just obliterates them. It's great. It's great. But they have very annoying attacks, and, yeah, whatever. That's not important. Anyways, essentially, we get we get to see him fumble his way through his Fatui meetings, and because he's very, very busy, and he has to, like, fumble his way through these meetings because his little brother keeps showing up and being like, oh my god, he's such an amazing toy seller, while he tries to fumble up to keep this lie going, because, you know, his brother does not know that he is, in fact, not a toy seller in a Fatui. You know, that's the whole thing. So he keeps fumbling his way through that, and we just kind of witness all of that while we babysit the little brother. But eventually we go to one of Il Dottore's, or the doctor's, abandoned sites where he was working on other ruin guards. And we go inside, and that is the thing where we actually get to fight as Child. Like, that's per story quest, you get one instance of a thing where you could fight as them to test them out, which is kind of nice. And that's that. And essentially at the end there's a cutscene where we play hide and seek, because there are some active ruin guards in there that are dangerous, and somebody needs to take care of them. But because there are so many of them, Child needs, or has the need to, or feels the need to, use his foul legacy. So, which he's already kind of drained and a little bit, like, still hurt and recovering from his first time using the foul legacy in our presence, which I think is also really cool, that he went all out on us, the Traveler, even though she's such a very little thing, because that means the Traveler was worthy in that moment to be witnessing all of Child's versions. Like, he thinks she's worthy enough of his most powerful version of himself, and he still lost. Like, he lost. We beat him. And he's still hurt from that, essentially. And in that moment, he's like, you know, I'm still sore from that one. But yeah, I'll do hide and seek. You go to count to 10, and the Traveler kind of looks out for the little brother while Child goes all out. And there's, like, a really emotional moment for a moment there. Like, a really, really short moment where you think, like, oh my god, is he about to die? But he's not. And then it's just like, while his brother, like, counts down, and apparently can't hear the enormous amount of noise happening while he clashes these little things like soda cans. But Child goes all out in his full legacy version, hurts himself, obviously, but does also get all of them dead. And then he has to hide because he's literally so exhausted and hurt that he can only sit down and, like, cough into his hand, really. And, little boy is just around, kind of searching for his brother. And Child is around a corner and be like, sorry, I exhausted myself so much. Please, can you go lie to my brother that I'm actually off another meeting? Can you please give him this little, you know, Mr. Cyclops plushie toy? Oh, Jesus. I'm so burpy today. What's happening? But essentially, like, here, have this little toy, please give it to him and wish him the best. I'm gonna go recover in my corner over here. And essentially, we do give it to him, and, that's that. But then, a little while later, we are in the Northland Bank with his little brother on the way back, essentially, like, hey, you gotta go back, you gotta go home. And we kind of get, like, the little brother kind of snitches on, on Child, because he's like, oh, hey, yeah, he mentioned you in the letters he sent home, which is, like, mind-boggling to me, because essentially the entire time we met this guy, we were just bickering. We were just going at each other's throats at times. He was still, like, loosey-goosey, goofy, whatever. But essentially, he wrote home about us fighting. He wrote home about how sweet and kind and lovely the Traveler is. and he wrote home about the fact that he would give up being a Fatui Harbinger to go travel the world with the fucking Traveler. Like, the amount of simpage in this man is absolutely nonsensical and adorable, and I love that for him. But yeah, that is essentially what made me like him even more than normal amount of really much liking. So that's why he is on the SS tier, essentially. Is because of his major simp behavior that makes me think it's very adorable. Anyways, that's about him. He is very fun as a character. He has a lot of, like, a whole other arc in Fontaine, apparently, which I'm very excited about. And we're gonna get to eventually after we finish Sumeru, but that's gonna take us a long while until we get there. But yeah, we have a lot of tiers where he belongs. He's gonna be he's gonna be triple crowned. Ha 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 ha. That's an inside joke of the game. But he's also gonna go here. And he's also gonna go down here, wherever you are. Come here. There. Yay! There you are. Go sit next to Chow. Behave yourselves. Yay! We have finished another one of them, but we still have got 2 more to go of the Genshin characters, but one of them I know very little about, and one of them I know a little bit more about. So bear with me. I think we might also just get through these, and then I need to go take a break from my mouth moving so much. But yeah, we have poor man. Hello, yes, AHHAHAHAHHAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHthe Mr. Scholar Man is gonna take a while to get all of his straight, because a lot of what I know about him is from fanfiction, which is fanon, which means it might not be entirely correct. And I know a lot about him from the Archon quest, but we haven't even concluded that yet. So there might be more reasons why he's so up in the list. But currently, hot scholar. First of all, incredibly autistic coded as well. Yes, very much, very, very, very much. He wears the headphones, which is, like, argued about if that's, like, a headset, noise-canceling headphones. It's not the Akasha, we know that, because he wears it over top of that, so we don't know what that is. No, I'm spoiling myself for your future explanation. A little bit. Rather his best accidental wingman. He is. I'll help if needed. Thank you. Yes, so autistic. He is. He looks great. Great rep, to be honest. Hell yeah. Like, it's lovely. It's lovely. He's just like me for real. Yes, they're called soundproof earpieces. Okay, so it is canon that they are soundproof. Good to know, because I don't know what was, like, canon, in said fanfictions, so there's that. Anyways. And before you ask, I'm not going to tell you what kind of fanfictions they were. Anyways. He is very cool. He is also very much, like, coded. Which is very Sino as well. They're both, like, very stoic in a way, which is, fun. Trying to, like, recollect everything. We meet him in Port Ormos while we are trying to get a deal or some information upon a knowledge capsule. Specifically, I think, a divine knowledge capsule. I don't even know. Something. Dead dove, do not eat. Oh no. He probably says soundproof earpieces at least 50 times in his voice lines. Well, I don't know that because I don't have him. What kind of fanfiction were they, Juno? Smut, no doubt. Well, probably at some point in there. But again, stay out of my AO3 bookmarks. You do not belong there. I made them all private for a reason. It's literally not do not dove eat. It's not. I swear. It's not. Hurt no comfort. It's not that bad. It's hurt some comfort. Also there aren't as much about like self-inserts and stuff, so like don't worry about that. It's ship content. Hurt no comfort. What comfort? What hurt? First of all. Do not dove. It's my fave after all. I would never judge. Do not dove. Truly. Do not dove. There's a comma in there somewhere. Port Omos. Knowledge capsules. He is very fascinated with those. He is like very, not archivist coded, but the eye coded for sure. Like in the Magnus archives, very eye coded. He's sticking his nose where it does not belong at times, to the point where his curiosity, like, it's out there. It's out there and it's lovely, and I love that for him. Like, he is to the point where, I mean, I know a little bit about like where he goes, right? I know that he gets so curious about stuff and gets so defined about the fact that he's being denied access to specific files on the Akasha, which is, the Akasha is kind of like a big hive mind of all of the information that's available in Sumeru. He gets so fed up with that he literally overthrows the local government. So, like, it's that extreme, literally, you know? Because the government is, you know, harboring information. I read fics where character is warning enough is a tag/trigger warning, so fair point. It's way more say-so over where I'm at. The most thing that I read is like major character death, and that's you know it. Essentially, like, there's sometimes extreme wumps in there, but like lately I've just been very much like, you know, me being me, the hopeless romantic, you know. It's, I need a little bit of happiness in my life from time to time. I would have assumed so. Very affectionate. Yeah, no, don't worry about it. There's so much, it becomes a blur. Wow. I mean, I have probably read at this point about 1,000 fanfictions. Not about him specifically, just in general. At least. Actually, so much more. At least 2,000 at this point. I should read 1/5 as much as you, Juno. It would be good for me. Oh yeah, no worries. I mean, I have so many books that I've read. I'm currently reading a book. It's all the way over there, but I haven't started this one yet. I have finished the Raven cycle at this point. Raven boys, sorry, the Raven cycle is the entire quadrilogy. Sorry. I'm getting confused. My brain is so empty right now. But yeah, you know, I mean, I always sort my ships the same way. It's like, it's never established relationship. It is never a couple of other tags, and it's always between 1,000 and 5,555 words, so and always just completed stuff. Like, I have no patience for stuff that is still being updated, so I always only read the completed stuff so I can just scroll through all of it in one go and then just, you know, forget about it. So even though I need to read it again so badly, I'm preparing to read the A Storm of Ice and Fire books, but I'm too hyped to start real. I mean, not so real for me, because I have just started rereading this one, but, you know. Why do you also smell like couscous? Ugh, it smells so good. I should eat something more, but, like, we're talking about AHHAHAHAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHWe've only been going for like 2 hours, but I'm already so tired from just yapping. I could yap for so much longer, but my brain is so empty. I'm so sorry. We might also just not make it much longer. I might just keep this as like a taste test and then just go to bed, because I'm just so tired already, and I feel so bad. Get yourself a snack, call Helen, let Helen talk about the scholar while you eat. Helen, do you want to talk about the scholar? Like, I could also talk about him. I know enough. But, like, the brain is having a hard time staying present. But that's, you know, how it is. ADHD and being tired. All things go bump in the night. It's crazy. Anyways, I'll hate them. Even yes, you know what books you could read until you're ready? Cookie for Juno. Thank you. I mean, I have some cookies right here. But you know, no eating until I have finished the stream. Anyways, I'll hate them. He also has this like weird chest gem that I think we don't know a lot about. It might be like a piercing situation. A lot of people have theorized about that actually, which is funny. But we don't know. I have eaten like so much cake before this. I even have like the little Easter nest that I was given by my neighbor from the tea party. I have eaten a lot of couscous while I was like preparing stream. I have eaten. I'm not hungry. I swear I'm okay. Well, I absolutely do not have Juno's recalling capacities. That's fair. I have so much knowledge about my blorbos. Like, it makes sense that I will be the one yapping. Like, don't worry about that. Plus, it's so fun to hear her talk about the fanfiction. I'm not telling you about the fanfictions. You will never know what I kudo on IO3. I do not like talking about it because I don't like to be up for scrutiny about what kind of stuff I read. It makes me nervous. Yes, you do, Helen. You gotta get into the yap mindset. But yes, I agree, of course. You know, yap on top. It reminds me of Ida and Lilith gems. Fair point. It's like Ida and Lilith. Yes, the Owl House. Yes. Kind of, but I don't think it has that much of an impact. I think even when his Akasha goes red, his gem stays green, so I don't think it's that connected. Anyways. Yes, Port Omos. We meet him, and he's essentially, like, saving us from being scammed. And then just leaves dramatically. Like, my job here's done, but he didn't do anything. My job here's done. And then he leaves. Fluttering coat and everything. I'll yap your ear out about Final Fantasy II you one day, Zeke. That's very good, Helen. Also, would delete myself before revealing what exactly I read on AO3, to be honest. Yeah. Same. You will never know, actually. I will never tell you. I will give you, like, snippets, but I will always black out the names. So, yeah. Nuh-uh. Anyways. Port Omos. I am trying to recall all of the story, but there will be holes, of course. We do just kind of, like, follow him afterwards. We're just like, you're not running away from me. And he's, like, all, like, cool and stuff, and it's very lovely. There's, like, a whole thing, which is kind of embarrassing to admit, but, like, I could probably, no, okay, we're not gonna mention that. Anyways, moving on, don't worry about it, swiftly moving on. It's actually too embarrassing, we're not gonna do that. We kind of, like, okay, now that I've mentioned that I'm not hungry, I'm suddenly hungry. What is this shit? Anyways, that was the response to Final Fantasy. Fair, Lamau. We're not talking about it. But we kind of like to follow him, and we're like, like, can you tell us more about this knowledge capsule? You obviously know what this is about. Like, can you tell us any knowledge? Are we searching for the same thing? Blah, 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 blah. And essentially, I don't even know, like, we follow him to a more secluded space where we can talk some more, and then essentially he gives us an ultimatum after he tells us how to discern whether knowledge capsules are good or bad or mediocre or whatever. No, you're not hungry, Juno. You're hungry for knowledge. Like, I'll hate them. I eat the scrolls. It's okay. But, like, essentially he shows us, like, here, use your elemental side to determine whether these knowledge capsules are actually good shit or not shit. And, essentially, like, since he is literally blacklisted from Dory? Yes, it was, like, Dora the Explorer? No. Dory, the tiny djinn, that is also a black market operative. Woo! He's like, okay, I will share my knowledge and stuff and let you in on my plans under one condition. You get knowledge capsules from Dory and gain her trust. So we do that. And, I mean, throughout the whole thing, like, you know, he kind of has, like, a technical ulterior motive that he's not really letting you privy to. Hungry for that forbidden knowledge, truly. He teaches us how to determine what they are. We get to Dora, we get the good ones. He gives us like 1,000,000 mora, literally. He just has that kind of money. This man is so fucking decked out on money. It's crazy. There you go. Get centered, my guy. I mean, he also pays for Kave's apartment, so like that's that. Well, they are roommates. He pays for all of the rent. Anyways, yes. So we get to Dora, we do all that. We bring him the knowledge capsules. I think he also has one on hand that he just shows off, but it is not the one that we were talking about. There's that. Anyways, blah, 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 blah. We gain her trust, but eventually we also find out that we were too late to buy this divine knowledge capsule that AHHAHAHAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHAAHTo the people we were trying to avoid it getting sold to. But we also did get into like a thingy where they were like, hey, we're gonna fight you. Come to this playground at 5 p.m. tomorrow and we're gonna deal it out like adults. You know, like adults. And they have like a whole fighty thingy, and then there's this one guy who actually did consume the knowledge capsule and went crazy because, you know, he got in contact with Irminsul, which is essentially the knowledge tree. It's essentially like, if you know anything about Yggdrasil, which is the Norse, like, tree of life. Essentially, it's that, but it's also, like, the motherboard of Sumeru. Like, there's all of the knowledge. It's kind of corrupted right now, and if normal humans with normal capabilities go in contact with said tree, they might go insane. This one did go insane, because apparently his mental capabilities were not up to par. And Nike's, he, attacks AHHAHAHAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHe's just kind of cool like that. So he is smart and he can fight. So he's master of not only pen but also sword. Knocks him out, sits next to him, and is like, ha ha ha, I care so much about the fact that you're alive. But he also has a little bit of sleight of hand going on, and then he steals the knowledge capsule, puts it in his pocket, and then he pretends like nothing ever happened. And they're like, is this understood, AHHAHAHAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHand I just wanted to help. And then he just goes away with the knowledge capsule in his pants pocket, and he doesn't tell us about it anyways, either, you know. And they were roommates, and he listens to music and blocks noise. Yes. I mean, so same. I would also just steal those at some point, just to listen to music and block out noise. Hey! That sounded so delusional, sorry. Anyways, moving on. God, we do kind of, like, talk to him about it, but he doesn't tell us that he stole it. He's just like, oh, how dare, oh, you know, not how dare, but, like, how unfortunate that, the knowledge capsule is now in the hands of the cops. How unfortunate. Oh, no. And, kind of looks after us as we go over to Sumeru City, and he's like, with his fucking divine knowledge capsule in his pocket. I don't know where he actually puts it. I forgot where he puts it. He's not gonna be, he wasn't present for Act 2 and 3, I think, but he was there for Act 4, because he was in the desert. Jalulu is healing, don't worry about it. I will try. And the desert chapter was the most recent one, or, yep. Where he saved us again from people looking for us, which was really funny. Like, he just appears out of nowhere and just becomes, like, our kind of savior in his shining turquoise monochrome outfit. The more I look at this man, the more I see the autism in his eyes. I mean, he also got, like, multicolored eyes, which is also very fun. Like, he's got gold pupils, red irises around it, and then a turquoise around it, and then, you know, the white, stuff of his eyeball. But, like, yeah, the tism is very present in this man. So, yes. He also literally just, whenever he waits, he just reads such, like, involved scientific texts to the point, like, where Paimon in the desert chapter, for example, where we were trying to figure something out, was trying to read what he was reading, and it's literally just scientific text to the point of, like, where Paimon got so confused. Like, I could have probably read it if she just wasn't so pausy and confused about it. Like, if he would give me the book, I could probably make some conclusions from it, but he can make 10 times more Sclera the White, thank you, 10 more conclusions from it than I could. See, yeah, that. Anyways, like, he just reads every passing moment that he has, and, I mean, same. So was I at every formal function just now. Yay! He's a me for real. We'll get to that, actually. But, like, he's also just on, like, a no talking base with Sino. Like, they get into, like, a whole altercation where they just literally fight because Sino is like, haha, hello, you've entered our village, prepare to fucking die. And he just kind of just descends from the heavens and is just like, fight me, bitch. And they do, and they fight a little bit, but, I think, like, we as the Traveler kind of block one of his blows. Yes, one of his blows. We block one of his blows so it doesn't hit AHHAHAHAHHAHHAAHHAHJHSJHJHSKJHA. And Sano's like, why the fuck did you do that? And it was like, because we like him. But it also kind of turns out, like, AHHAHAHAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHSano also isn't telling us the whole truth. Dia is also not telling us the whole truth. Candace is probably the only person in that village that probably trusts us enough to tell us the truth. Candace is the village protector. She's also a Hydro user and a shield person and a support character, but not one of the good ones. So there's that, unfortunately. But yeah, they're fine. Like, there's this moment of, like, should we trust him? And I think it's gonna get tested in Act 5 as well, because I haven't actually gotten there yet. This would have happened tomorrow. I would have streamed it tomorrow if I didn't already have plans for the afternoon, and if I didn't already have enough stuff to do Saturday morning and Sunday morning, and it's just gonna be so much. Anyways. Oh. That's that. Ugh. Yes. God, we have him. God, that was Act 3 though, wasn't it? Yeah, that was Act 3 actually. Wasn't it? Yeah, it was Act 3. Oh my god, hi Azzy, welcome back. Yeah, it was Act 3. Act 2 was the Sub-Zero's Festival. Haha, I remember now. Juno, help me, Zeke is sending me Ace Attorney fanfics in German. Oh no! Zeke, how dare you! Not the German fanfictions. Where are you sending that? Can I stop it somehow? Probably not. I cannot. Zeke, how dare you! Don't terrorize Evan with German. Don't do that. Don't be doing that, bro. God, where was I? It's a Sub-Zero's Festival. Es gibt ganze 17 sage und schreibe. What? 17? Suchst du das auf AO3? Oder gibt's die auch woanders? Auf fanfiction.net vielleicht? Kannst ja gucken, ob es da noch welche gibt. Wattpad, maybe? Da gibt's sicherlich auch noch welche. Mindestens. Ich meine, auf Wattpad kannst du noch welche finden von Kindern. Von Kindern geschrieben. Von so 14-jährigen Simps. Wattpad. AO3 only. Yeah, that's fair. You cannot. No, stop. Kannst du wahrscheinlich welche finden. Ich denke mal schon, oder? Wenn du möchtest, du kannst ihn weiter terrorisieren. Er weiß nicht, dass ich das jetzt dir sage, in dem Sinne, dass ich dich anfeuere, in dem Sinne. Er weiß es nicht. Du kannst... Mach es. Terrorisieren mit deutschen Fanfictions. Do it. Jesus. Anyways, back to, you know, English explanations. Ich habe keinen scheiß Wattpad-Account. Soll ich nachher mal gucken, weil ich habe noch einen. Ich habe noch einen Account. Du kannst ja auch einen machen. Kannst du auch einen hinschreiben und dann so anonymous Säcke Fanfiction schreiben oder sowas. Keine Ahnung. Oder viewers on Tenchi Fanfictions. You are a tick. POV, you are a tick on Tenchi. I'm dying laughing. Lamau, yeah. I'll write it down. Oh god, the ribbons. Yeah, I need to take care of that later too. We're getting so far off track of poor AHHAHAHAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHWattpad. Do you know I started reading fanfictions on Wattpad, and the first fanfiction I ever read was not even a fanfiction, but it was a fiction, like a book written on there about like a bad girl ballerina. God, those were the times. I didn't even like... I got recommended that thing from a friend. God, that was long ago. Oh my god. But yeah. I mean, I think the first ones I read were on Quotev, so Jesus. Quotev? Really? Those were the times, huh? I tried fanfictions.net, but I think I just did not grasp how it worked, so I just moved on to AO3 immediately after after Wattpad. God, my first fanfic reads were on Animo. Well, that actually makes sense because that was like a platform, you know. And that was a platform for fanfiction, fan art, and stuff. Like that's fine. Yeah, I had a whole short fanfiction.net phase. Minora is super good. And yet Azzy is small tiny man. He's so young in comparison to you and me. Well, to me less so. Only 2 years. 3. 2? 2. I had a long Wattpad phase. Fair. I mean, long for me too. I didn't even know what AO3 was until like 3 years after discovering Wattpad. Like, come on. I was not that sophisticated at 13 years old. The sophistication happened at 16, 17 probably, rather. I'm not small. You are incredibly tall, but you are young. 3, 2, viewer age docs. Shake my head. I would never. Here's his birthday, the city he was born in. I know these dates, of course. I know where I was born, at which time, on which day, in which city. What kind of complications there were at birth. I know this, but only for me. Mine were on blogs in my Candy Love back in 2011. Fair. I learned very late, same. Yeah, you know, the sophistication happens only way later. But yeah. Go on, share. No. No, I will not share my date of birth, time of birth, and social security number. I will not do that. I don't even know my social security number by heart, I think. I haven't. I have it somewhere, but obviously I'm not gonna get it out. I'm not insane. But yeah. Oh god, so much yapping is like exhausting. Oh my god. I wouldn't even, you wouldn't think so, that yapping would be this exhausting, but I think it's just been because of I've already yapped so much over the tea party today. God. I'm glad you know when you were born, Juno. I mean, I know my birthday. It's the 6th of September, 2003. But, you know, the time of birth, the place of birth, and the circumstances is not something, you know, you need to share on the internet. I hesitated to bring it up. Fair. It do be, what do you mean you won't share your bank account number? I mean, you want my IBAN? What do you mean you won't dox yourself? Worst streamer, shake my head. Oh, sorry. Don't unsubscribe to me because I didn't dox myself. Sad. What are you? I don't know what you are. I hope you're not nougat, because I don't like nougat. Yum yum. Send IBAN for most direct donors. Funny. Funny. Yeah, with Vocalite ones, I was also a hit on there, if I may. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Yes, I was being mean. Don't worry, don't worry. I got the joke. Don't worry, don't worry. Oh my god. I want to curl up and sleep forever. God. This feels so mean because I'm like, we're barely like 6 people in. Barely. I'm so sorry that I'm already chickening out of the rest of this. I'll hate them staring at us this whole time. He's judging you. Yeah, send cash and mail for direct donors. Exactly. Here's my address. Haha, no. Only my friends are allowed to send me cash. That is a joke. Do not send me cash. I swear to God, the only person who's allowed to send cash to anybody is me to you, okay? I'm watching you. I will send you 10 euros in the mail. And then we found old DMs of people asking for the follow-up of her old fanfics. Aww, cute. Hell yeah. I have no cash to send. Maybe one day. Exactly. I send you. You do not send me any cash. I swear to God. If I send it, I see it, I will send it back. A self-ID'd fans of her work. Nice. That is actually pretty cool. Oh, it's pretty cool. Someone asked if they could translate my fanfictions into Chinese. I don't know if I ever did it. Oh. Do I get the send cash to Juno pass as well? No. I said yes though. Oh. That's crazy. Fucking into Chinese. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. That is insane. To just translate into Chinese. I mean, you could, couldn't you? There were Le Rouge et just me knowing French, how to pronounce French, of course. One of them apparently printed the entire fanfic to keep it. Jesus, I would. There's one fanfic that I would do that to, because that also made me cry. And people have actually done that, which is the Passerine fic of, you know, the Dream SMP, the Minecraft people, because it was just so well written. I would probably, like, I would print that out and put it on my shelf if I was allowed. I don't remember what I wrote, but good on them, you know. French title is very fitting. You know. Hell yeah. Yes, print and bookbind your fanfics. I would love to just learn bookbinding just for that. So I could also bookbind my own, like, 10-page fanfictions. I could... Listen, I have 13k words on an Eddie Munson fanfiction with a self-insert. I could probably bookbind that. But that's, like, tiny book. I would need, like, really thick pages to make it make sense, to make it a bound book. Oh, it's more than 60 pages, actually. Right? How many pages is it? I could probably count. We're getting so far off track, but at this point, you know what? I don't care. I need a brain break anyways from yapping so much. We'll get to you. I'll hate them, I swear. I'm just gonna look. how many pages my fucking Eddie Munson fanfiction is. That you will never see. Don't worry. I've sent it to one person, and that person has liked it a lot. No connection. What do you mean, no connection? Google Docs, come on. I could probably just look it up on my phone as well. Can you please load? Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna look it up on my phone. I'm too impatient for this shit. We have you here. Yes. So. Details. We have... Okay. That's not enough details, actually. How many pages is this? Actually, you can't tell me, can you? You can only tell me... Print layout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 pages in part 1. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 27. 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 40... Yeah, 42. The last squiggly lines are not important. 42 pages of Eddie Munson fanfiction. Can you believe it? 42! 13k words. 42. How much to see the fanfic? $1,000, maybe. Don't do that, please. Keep your money. Short stories can be bound, or like zines, exactly. Fanfic talk. There's even binding styles you can do with less pages. Yeah, I think my longest fanfiction is still about Shadow and Bone. I have that on my desk, not on my desk, my bedside table. But I have a bunch of Storm of Ice and Fire, but that is an AU. Some is separated. 42 is a lot. That is something for a sir. Sir? For sure. It's like, but yeah, it is something. But I was like, I haven't, like, it's a 3-porter, and it was completed. Oh god, it took a long while, but I think it was like a very interesting concept of like, you know, no one dies, everybody lives kind of thing. And it's essentially just self-insert, gets to know him, is also a waitress, because at the time I was a waitress, and kind of like gives him tutoring lessons to get him through his final exams, and they kind of get closer through that, and that's, you know, that. And it's just very self-indulgent in that way, and it's just 13,000 words of that. Say my copies in my bedside table for when I read the OG material. I mean, I have read the OG material, I just haven't gotten around to actually reading the non-OG material, the fanfiction itself. Ha. I need to actually get to that at some point. I'm very bad at keeping up with that shit. God. Anyways, I completely forgot where I was at with the AHHAHAHAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHAAHtính Jesus. Get the fucking hell. Get the fucking Genshin characters done. And maybe after the Genshin characters are done, I might stop for tonight, because it's just so tight with my schedule tomorrow morning. And I would rather have this as like a taste test, and then we will come back to all of the other ones another time. Possibly. I don't even know. I'm just so tired. I'm so sorry that I'm not able to do much more. But I would rather sleep in and eat some more couscous. sleep a little bit longer for tomorrow because it's going to be very exhausting and I would like to have as much rest as possible, and I'm very sorry that I'm just doing a little bit, but I didn't expect it to be this much yapping, but you know, this will be a playlist. I'm probably going to add this to a different playlist as well at this point. Just its own little playlist kind of thing, but yeah. Anyways, Nora Gamer, yeah, it was kind of ambitious to say like, oh, I can put all of them in here as well when I then start to explain their entire livelihood in their media of choice, in one go, over like 20-30 minutes. Don't apologize, Correst. I will try. I'm probably gonna watch the Sparkle trailer another 30 times before I go to bed, but I will eat my couscous while I'm at it. But yeah, I'm gonna do AHHAHAHAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHnext time, because you know, I yap the most about the current hyperfixation because I know a lot about it, and the rest are gonna be kind of chill. But again, I would like to keep that to another stream so I can have the kind of chill stream for next time. It's okay, you need to sleep. I do, and I'm sorry still. It's okay, Juno, it's better to be well rested than yapping when you're exhausted. Exactly. But yes, back to the matter at hand, so I don't get distracted again about people who are not relevant yet, aka Eddie Munson. He's gonna come on after Riesli. It's fine. We'll get there eventually. Anyways, I'll hate them. In the desert. Where were we? Fuck. The whole thing where we went to the village, searching for this man's lost uncle, dad, brother situation. God, which way around was it? I don't even know. He disappeared at some point, and he came back at some point to make his own points. Anyways. He came back, just after we were talking with Candace and, with Sino and with Dia. And he was just sitting outside. It was kind of like a jump scare almost, just to see the cover of his book, and I'm just like, oh, AHHAHAHAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHrecognize people by how they walk, their shoes, their hand gloves, seeing them for a split second, hearing their voice. You know how it is. I mean, AHHAHAHA's voice is actually quite distinct, so, like, it's not that, like, it's hard. Haha. But, yeah, so, he comes back. We figure out some stuff and figure out that not only are... And this is also just kind of like a lore recap at this point, because we will be continuing the main storyline next week, but that will be the second to last port and the longest, so that one is also going to require 2 parts, and I still need to figure out when I'm going to split it. Ha 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 ha. But yes. Anyways, we figured out with AHHAHAHA until that, the academia, the big bad, the government, essentially, is trying to get as much, like, well, okay, so, divine and generally just knowledge capsules in general are gotten from, Jesus, words. Knowledge capsules in general are acquired through taking the knowledge from someone's actual IRL brain. Well, not your brain, like, IRL is bad to say in comparison to, like, a video game. Like, one of the people in Sumer, one of the citizens, you take their knowledge and put it in a capsule, and you leave them essentially brain dead? I don't know, I haven't actually figured out how that works yet, but essentially they're trying to acquire as many divine knowledge capsules as possible to make their own Deus Ex Machina, Deus, I'm probably not how you pronounce that, Deus Ex Machina, so the god out of the machine. Quite literally, they're trying to make an artificial god. This artificial god is the Balladeer, aka Scaramouche, aka the Wanderer. Technically, the Wanderer is the version of him that isn't the Harbinger. He is, you know, the Wanderer is the version that isn't a Fatui Harbinger anymore. But, he is being made into a god with promises of fixing Irminsul, the Tree of Life, which probably he's not gonna keep. He is just there to make sure the Sumeru is gonna become a puppet for Snezhnaya. But, like, we figured that out with AHHAHAHAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHof scholars that we stumble upon as one of his seniors of his times at the Academia. He obviously has already graduated. He is one of the scribes for the Academia. So he has some leverage, but not a lot. So yeah, that's kind of where we leave it, essentially. Like, we figure out that there is, you know, that they're trying to make an artificial god. They are trying to, they have rejected Lesser Lord Kusanali after the death of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, and also the death of King Deshret, which was way later, I think. No, earlier? It's around the same time. They died around the same time, and the people who follow King Deshret also despise the people who followed and are following Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, aka Lesser Lord Kusanali. Like, they despise each other because they thought there was, like, some conspiracy going on where, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was stabbing King Deshret in the back, while, in actuality, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was actually helping by, you know, taking King Deshret's life to make sure that the sickness that he is, like, introduced to the world, you know, dies with him. Irminsul also is the producer of a specific illness called, Elazar, which is essentially a chronic illness, like a literal chronic illness that represents as, like, scales. Zeka has already accurately compared it to stone skin? No, you know how it's called, Zeka. From Game of Thrones. Like, it is very similar. It is very similar. Also, I'm just sliding down the chair at this point, but it is very similar in that sense, and it also just paralyzes you. Grayscale, thank you. Like, it immobilizes you to the point that you know, can't move, can only exist as, like, essentially, like, a comatose patient, but from Game of Thrones, A Storm of Ice and Fire. Yes, so both the series and the books. But yes, it's not necessarily relevant to AHHAHAHA right now. I just went on a rampant there. Essentially that. But yeah, we figured that one out also with the tomb of one of the other priests, who also looks a lot like Sino, but with black hair instead. So we do go into his tomb to figure that one out. There's something that turns people into stone from media I know. I can't remember. You know, Medusa? And also King Midas, but it's not stone, it's gold. It's a popular theme. Also, basilisks turn you to stone, or paralyze you at least. So there's that. If you mean the basilisks, that's also a thing. Where did he end up? Yeah, I mean, after that, we're just kind of making plans to overthrow the government, together, and that's where we kind of leave him. But yeah, that's that. Yeah, like, that's as far as I canonically know. I do know a little bit about the fact that he, I think, also takes, I mean, this is kind of like a peek behind the curtain. I have seen a lot of things. I've seen a lot of clips. I've spoiled myself indefinitely. I know that he takes the Divine Knowledge Capsule and, acts crazy, but isn't actually. But I'm still excited to see that, because his performance is... Chef's kiss. He is actively against the acting Grand Sage Varkas? Or is it Varka? I don't know. A bitch. And he actually, overthrows said government, the academia, and then actually is the only viable option to replace said government, and this thus becomes, you know, the new Grand Scribe, against his will somewhat, but he's also like, I'm the only person capable of doing this job, so I might as well. This man is so overworked, give him a break, give him a vacation, this poor man. But you know, in his knowledge, like, he fucked around and found out too much, and then fucked around some more, and then got cucked, essentially. Oh yeah, Warframe, Lamau. Cockatrice, just a Dr. Stone thing. I see, okay. Yep, fair. But yeah, that's about as much as I know. I know that he also, is Kave's junior, so Kave is the older one, technically. He doesn't act it, but he is. And, Kave is like this grand, architect who also made the Palace of Alcatraz? Not Alcatraz. It's a long word that I can't pronounce. It's a really pretty place. I've been there. It's really pretty. It's like, it's really, really nice. But he essentially got himself in massive debt and now can't, like, is essentially, like, homeless. And, AHHAHAHAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHHAAHwhile they were doing their shared thesis, and they parted ways until the point where AHHAHAHAHA was like, oh hey, I see that you're homeless, hey, why don't you move in with me? And they've been roommates ever since. They bicker a lot, like a fucking old married couple. It's adorable, and they have literally a shared, like, idle animation where AHHAHAHA, like, pulls out a key that is conjoined with another key that has, like, a little lion icon on it, which then in turn means that's Kave's key. And that existed way before Kave's did. Like, the Idleman animation. And he's like, oh, what's this? Oh, whatever. And then he puts it back into his pocket. And then Kave's side of things are, essentially, he, like, pats himself down for his keys and then realizes, oh shit, I forgot the key again. And it's kind of cute, and people were going absolutely batshit insane crazy over the fact that they had a, like, you know, matching scene like that. Queer, indeed, and they were roommates. They're so gay-coded it hurts, actually. There's people outside. There's a kid outside. Oh no. Anyways. Yeah, him. And yeah, he is very much like the bookish type, the type to kind of just put on his soundproof ear hole thingies and then kind of just zone out of the world for a while. Like, he's so real for that. Husband's truly queer. And for not necessarily the reasons that I've mentioned so far, but, like, just on, like, a purely, like, a vibes basis, and also the fact that he's so intensely analytical. Just to illustrate my point. He is on many different tiers, I think. Like, not a whole lot of different tiers, but at least 3. There's a lot of him everywhere, all the time. Nice. Yes, it might just literally be because, you know, the tism. The tism is too strong. I've got a kin. But, you know. Hee. Yeah. We have him. That's that. Now we get into completely uncharted territory that literally uncharted because it is, you know, I mean, I have been to Fontaine, but I have only seen him, like, once, and that was in a cutscene with his canon husband, Neuvillette. I mean, canon husband is kind of a strong wording. Everybody ships them together. I don't know if it's toxic yaoi. People have been like, oh, it is. And it's like, is it? Is it? He is the warden of the Fortress of Mirapede. Sorry, Evan, if I mispronounce these French words, please do not guillotine me. I swear to God, I'm trying my best. I don't know the French. I'm so sorry. Also, Helen, I think you're French. You know the French. All of the French people in chat, please don't judge me. I'm trying my fucking best. Handcuff. Yeah, that's all you know him as, don't you? Oh boy, yes, he does have an idle animation where he spins the handcuffs on his belt. Isn't that fun? Riesly! I would never. I love you so much. I'm just saying, don't metaphorically, guillotine me for mispronouncing the French. I'm trying. Nah, Helen is not French. What? Okay, now I'm getting mixed messages. Evan says she is, and you say she isn't. Who is the sarcastic one now? I'm skewered. Or is that genuine confusion? I don't know. Help. God, I know a lot about him, but I also don't know. I'm not French. Okay. Well, ask Helen. Okay, you're not French then? Okay. Listen. No, Helen is French. She just doesn't like being it. See? You're confusing me! I'm guessing yes. Which, like, no French person admits to being French. Or being proud of it. Which is real. Which is fair. Well, it doesn't matter. It's okay. Okay. Don't forget to mention the pick up someone with one hand. I know that's very important to the Blorbo. Shush, I'll get there. I know her since high school and have seen her papers. Okay. So if you've seen her birth certificate, you know she's been born in the France. I see how it is. God, I know so much. And I know so little. I know he's a cryo user. I know he's a catalyst user, but the catalyst is used in a very interesting way because he is, you know, literally, he punches people with his gauntlets. I love that he punches people with his gauntlets. Like, that's his fighting method. He is a brawler. He literally goes to a fight club in Fontaine. He has a set-up fight club where he brawls. At least that's as much as I know. Like, the lines blur a lot between what is, canon and what isn't. And, Helen, you're very, very welcome to correct me if some of this is, like, fan fiction. That I've just, you know, not picked up on yet. But big spoilers, refrain. I would like to at least get that out of, like, I want to at least have a little bit of stuff that I can still experience firsthand. I know that he has essentially been assigned father of Sigwin. One of the Melusines. One of the half otter, half human little woman peeps. Tiny. I mean, I know a lot of spoilers, so, like, at this point, the stuff that isn't a spoiler, or I don't know yet, or stuff, like, it's so small. It's not a lot that I don't know. Cute bunny, yes. Is she a cute bunny? I thought she was cute little otter. I don't know, and like a hybrid human hybrid. Jesus. And he is essentially, like, assigned dad, and I think it's very cute because, you know, father figures. He's very cute. He loves tea. He's technically British, not French. Breesley is also a very British name. I looked this up. I asked Evan, and Evan was like, that's not French, honey. And I was like, oh, it's English, actually. Oh, she's not a bunny, but I call her Bunny. Oh, okay. Yes, cute bunny. Okay, good. It's like, help. But yes. Breesley. He is... God, I think these scars that he has on his neck are self-inflicted. He also has other scars all over himself, on his arms specifically. I don't know anything about his stomach and or legs, because they're covered, and, you know, I've totally never seen it uncovered in many a fantasy of other people. Totally not. Nope. But yeah, he has those 3 on his neck, he has some on his arms, and they're all covered by this, like, very loosely tied, like, black bandage or whatever. Yes, British. Breesley is not a British name. It's, like, the least British name I've heard. Okay, I'll fact check you right now. Rio Thesley. Breesley. Rio Thesley. I know the first thing that's gonna come up is, like, him from the game. But... Thomas Wriothesley, 1st Earl of Southampton. See? Wrong. They're very symmetrical. Also, a lot of people hate canon him with a beard. There's amazing art of him, and he actually looks super cool. Hell yeah. Was an English peer, Secretary of State, Lord Chancellor, and Lord High Admiral. Yeah, born in London. The son of York Herald William Wriothesley. Wriothesley or Rife, okay, was an officer in the Arms of College of Arms in London. He was also second of the Great Garter King of Arms, John Rife, the younger brother of Thomas Wriothesley, and the father of Thomas Wriothesley. Yep. See? London. It is British. It's not even that he came from somewhere else. It is Wriothesley, and he is, or Wriothesley, sorry, and he is from the English, in England. Yes. Southampton, yes. Marriage and issue in fiction. Okay, shush. Anyways, back to him at hand. He uses his fists, which I think is very fun. He does have a lot of fun fighting animations, actually. I have tried him out multiple times. He is so fun to fight with. God, I need to, like, actually think, hard. Jesus. Where was I? I completely got sidetracked by the fact that I wanted to look up, okay, that's not him. That's, like, completely different country. If you say so. Suggesting its origin as a pig farm added by Anonymous. I see how it is. Name is of an unknown origin deriving from Elder Rostelja, who were a family that held estates in Staffordshire, I don't fucking know, in the late 1100s. Possibly a combination of rot, snout, and Leia meadow cleaning. Snout meadow. Lovely. Suggesting its origin as a pig farm. Added 2023 by Anonymous. I see how it is. But yeah, he is very much someone who acts in the background of the entire story. A lot of people discredit him for all of the stuff that he's done. I know something primordial water is something that he has been very involved in, with Navi, of course, because Navi is, you know, the guy who can actually do a lot about it. Staffordshire? Maybe. It's a place that ends in shire. It's probably Shah. Okay. Staffordshire. Is that good? Is that good? I wish I knew more about him, but I haven't actually met him in the story. I just know that he likes tea. He has a daughter. canon or not canon, I don't care. He brawls, he has self-inflicted wounds, and, he works a lot. But, you know, that's all of the characters. But yeah, I just really like him. I just really like him. So surprisingly a lot less yapping about him, funnily enough. But you know, it'll change. Hehe. Anyways. So far, and it is, there's so little that I know about him. Hillen, if you want to share anything more that you know about him. I remember the game mentioning they're self-inflicted. I don't know where I read that either. Was it in his story chapters? Fuck if I know. Probably, maybe. I don't know. But if you want to add anything else, I would be happy to read it out. Something that isn't, you know, a big spoiler. But yeah, it'll be... It's... Can I not edit this while I'm streaming? I can't. Okay. I see how it is. How dare you. Okay. But I could... Okay, whatever. There's... Oh god. He has an incredibly wholesome friendship with Nevi, and that's all I will add. Hell yeah. Very cute, very cute. I can imagine. They have... I mean, in the story... Well, the event thing that I saw him first in, Nevi actually brought him, like, literally made with his own 2 hands. He pottery... made, like, he went and made it with his hands, like a little slab with the with his stamp on it and like some legal jargon stuff as like an inside joke with Clorind, and he gave that to Riesli like as a gift, and about 10 boxes of tea which he got for a great deal from a vendor. So that's that. That's lovely. The rest is too spoilery, but good one. Yeah. So I have gotten a little bit more pumped up, but really I just want to go to bed. For now, it's really just up here. We have 1 kin and it's Ahem. So yeah, that's this. That's that. We'll come back to this, of course. Maybe next week. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it on Fridays. I don't know. Pumped up for bed, truly. I'm just so tired, and I need to take a break from speaking so much, and next time I need to bring more water. It's rest time. Yeah, just because I have so much to do over the weekend, I'd rather rest than exhaust myself yapping. Even though I would love to talk more about characters, I need a little bit of time in between. I'm still sorry that I've gotta cut this short, even though it's been 3 hours, but 3 hours of straight just yapping is also a lot, and I can also foresee the next few being long ones, so yeah. Next time, maybe we'll go around the same time and hopefully get a little bit more done, because we have gotten to, we've 8 characters we've managed. 8 in 3 hours. Jesus. I'd recommend writing key points so you don't have to think so much on stream. Probably. But, you know, for 50 more characters, it's a lot. This is very, very fun. You have to wake up very early. I do. Thanks for stream, of course. At least it'll be like a long list of just me yapping a lot, so you can just put that in the background of whatever you're doing, you know, in the future if you want to. So, yeah, there's that. just yapping ASMR. There's that. Next week I will probably be less sniffly, so that's for sure, and that's good. But yeah, I will leave you guys now. I have nobody to raid, because, I mean, generally I don't really do that either. But I can probably just shout out my friends again, who are Evan and Seke, my two very talented friends who you should definitely check out, who are very cool. I'm actually currently shouting out, or trying to see, Saturday is nothing, but on Sunday for Zeke is community stream. I don't know if it's gonna be in the Discord or if it's gonna be live, but in the Discord, you should definitely check out in my channels, where you can see, like, linked channels. Under friends, you will find Zeke there, amongst other people that I've collabed with in the past. And you should be able to see his, you know, Discord. You could join that if you want to, and then maybe partake in the community games. Otherwise, you should check out his Twitch, which is also linked to his YouTube channel. He's very cool. You should check him out, check out his games, check out his political streams, and also the community games, also his art stuff, and also everything else about him, because he's cool. Evan, on the other hand, is also an incredibly talented artist who you could check out on Twitter. Yes! Oh my god, it's Evan! Oh my god, you should check that out on the Twitters. You should check that out. That's so cool. It's right there in the live chat. Oh my god. Right there. You could check that out, because he does amazing art, and I think he's still looking for work and also looking for commissions, so you should check that out, look at his art, repost his art, and make sure he gets some work. Check out my Politicus games, please. I'm sorry. Political gamer. It's the truly coolest one. Both of you are the coolest ones. Probably on Twitch, yeah. But yeah. You should check out both of them. I don't think I have the link on hand so quickly. But you should also check out Zeke's Twitter. You should also check out Zeke's channel. I can link you to his Twitch if he doesn't want to do it himself. Shout yourself out. Shout yourself out now. I can also hear the kids downstairs. That's going to be very hard to fall asleep to. Yay. Oh, bro. Oh, brother. Okay, Tubbo is live. Great. That's not who I'm looking for right now. Okay, copy. There you go. Oh my god. There you go. Oh, that one didn't turn into a link. Oh no. But yeah, you should check out the Zeke. I should close Twitch. Copy paste it, gamers. You can do it. You can do it. My message will just take a little while because, yeah, Tubba's always live. Tubbathon. Oh yeah, true. He's playing Valorant right now. But yes, you should check out my friends. They're really cool. They're really awesome. You can also check out the Discord, which is in the description and linked down there, and we're cool people over there. That is where you get most of the news from. Any news about, you know, changing times on streams like I did today, there you go. Because technically, originally, this stream was going to start at 3 p.m. And not 6. But then I was invited to a tea party, and thus I stayed there for a little while longer. God, these kids are loud. What the fuck? I'm pretty sure you can even hear them. Jesus. This house is so hellhörig. It's crazy. I would never type out the HTTPS by hand. Lazy. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! But yeah. God, Wi-Fi is going down the hill. But yeah. Any news? Because I was at the tea party and then thus it went later. There we go. But what did you type it with? I copy-pasted it from the thing. My mind, of course. But yeah. Join the Discord, we're cool people over there, if you haven't already. I mean, most of you are already there. But, for any of you who still want to get a lot of news and see me on there, I do chat. I do probably, at the moment, because it's still like a relatively small community, I still read all of the messages. I reply to most that is relevant to me, but I do read all of it, and I do post the art that I do make for the schedules. I do post them there. And also, of course, the schedules themselves. So if you want to know anything about that, and you want to see more of this face, you can go over there, because occasionally I'm also in chat, in the voice chat. So yeah, I will now leave you be, and we'll change it so it does say, you know, part 1 of many of, you know, the Yappathon, essentially. We're gonna just continue doing that for as long as it takes us. Some episodes might be longer than others. Oh no, did I miss it? You did, unfortunately. Because I'm going to bed. We've been going for 3 hours though, but I will show you what we have compiled so far. It is not a lot, but you know, some are here. You know, some are here. Okay. Yeah, this one is getting cut off, but this is Carlos Oliveira. Yappathon, yeah. But yeah. I mean, the bot is still here. I will never know about the Genshin blurbs. You can still rewatch the thing in the background while you do your awesome little, like, your twisty little earring thingies. They're really, really cool. And, you know, all of the cool jewelry you make. Yes, please let me see. But yeah, I'm gonna leave you be. I've got to depress, de-stress. I don't know. I've got to eat my couscous. I've still got a lot to eat. My tummy is hungry, and I will now rewatch the Sparkle trailer like 6 more times before I move on to other YouTube videos, because the trailer is just awesome. You should watch the Sparkle trailer from Honkai Star Rail. It's awesome. Anyways, I will leave you guys to it now. I will see you guys next week, because tomorrow and over tomorrow I will not be streaming because it is very busy on the weekend, and I've already promised my parents I would be there for the bonfire. So no stream, but I will be back on Monday probably. Maybe I'll even manage to troubleshoot the new dongle that I've gotten from Vita right here to connect my PS4 to the thingy, so I can play Code Veronica on Monday, maybe, potentially. Who knows? But yeah. Hehe, don't depress. I'll try my best. Also see ya. Have good foods? I will. Thank you. I mean, I can show it. I have it like right here. It doesn't look very tasty, but it is. It's got feta cheese in it, and it's got some cherry tomatoes, and it's got a lot of spices in there that I just vicariously just dumped in there after like looking up like what is good for couscous, and it's like paprika, chili, garlic, and I mean also mint, but you know I didn't have any mint on hand because I'm not that fancy. But yeah, couscous. Either way, I'll see you guys, and yeah, see you. Bye.